This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No. Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
I'm not okay with that.
It sounded good when I thought.
Log on and join our live conversation.
Yes, I don't like that.
You're 100% right.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Thursday, May 9th. We are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. I'm here with Stephanie, Al, Brandon, and I am Sam. Tori is on assignment. Let's get started. You've got to see this. It looks like a scene in a movie. A massive gun bust in an exclusive neighborhood in Los Angeles. Police and federal agents responded to an anonymous tip and seized more than 1,000 firearms from a house near the Playboy Mansion. The LAPD released these photos, saying a suspect was arrested on suspicion of possessing, selling, and manufacturing assault weapons. In addition to the guns, thousands of rounds of ammo were also found in the home. This is crazy to me. I mean, we've all lived in Los Angeles. The fact that, you know, when you drive down that street, just to paint a picture for our viewers at home, you got Jay-Z and Beyonce there. You got the Playboy Mansion, the famous Aaron Spelling Mansion that's worth $100 million. Apparently, this million was worth $7 million. And the police department said that they have never seen this many weapons. The lieutenant that was in charge said he's been on the force for 31 years, Al, never seen anything remotely like this.
Yeah, and the fact that these guns are that accessible. I mean, you would probably never see that amount of guns in your lifetime in any other country. And as for me, I mean, we're looking at it, and I mean, I'm like, that's a lot of guns, but I'm not shocked. I mean, if you take it more to an individual level, we had that individual from the Coast Guard that was making racist posts that had a huge cachet of weapons. We had there are just people that post these kinds of caches all the time, and these aren't drug dealers. It's like these guys are just, a lot of people just collect guns and use guns.
No way.
I don't think that's just a collection.
I think these are like arms dealers.
Yeah.
We're looking at probably some sort of international, this is me just speculating, and maybe I've seen too many movies, but considering this much ammo, this many guns, I believe that you're looking at full-on international arms dealers, and they just so happen to be holed up in a $7 million mansion in Bel Air.
How many guns do you think Doomsday Preppers got?
I don't know.
A lot. But I mean, well, this is only feeding into the argument for the other side, to where it's like, we need to get legal guns. You need to be a legal gun owner, because those are illegal. Those aren't registered. Who knows what criminal or whomever gets their hands on that gun and can use it on innocent people. So I see this being politicized within the next week.
Well, everything gets politicized, unfortunately.
It just goes to show it doesn't matter how rich you are or how poor you are, you don't always know the people that are around you. You don't know who your neighbors are. And if you see something, say something. Don't be scared to tell the police. I mean, this is one of the most richest neighborhoods in the world.
I would be scared. I would be scared to say something, Steph.
Yeah.
Well, it's an anonymous tip, and I'm glad Steph said that, because you know what? This person, the reason why they were raided at 4 a.m., can you imagine being one of these ritzy neighbors at 4 a.m. seeing this go down? But that's why they were raided, Al, because of the anonymous tip.
Yeah.
It's anonymous.
No, I'm not saying it wasn't a good thing. I'm just saying, like, I would worry about any kind of
somehow they would find out. Somehow. Yeah, you never know. All right, and speaking of guns, and I hate even having to use that as its normalcy, but apparently it is.
Transition for you now, Sam.
It's a normal.
You said it last week too.
I know. A vigil held for the school shooting here in Colorado erupted into a protest last night. Students and parents spontaneously walked out after the conversation became political, chanting mental health. The event was originally described as an interfaith memorial vigil. Meantime, we are learning more about what went on inside the classroom with one of the suspected gunmen who is accused of killing 18-year-old Kendrick Castillo. Here's how his fellow classmate described the scene.
What I saw yesterday was the absolute best of people. I got to see two heroes, two regular high school kids, two really awesome people jump into action without any hesitation, and I was more than lucky to join them in doing that action. Someone entered the building with incredibly malicious intent, using their cowardice, surprise, and superior weapons, and they lost. They completely and utterly lost to good people.
Wow, and that kid is a victim as well. I can't even imagine what he must be feeling. We are also hearing from Kendrick Castillo's family about their son's death. Take a look.
To see all of his friends alive and him offer up his life, I know that's what he would do. Our son paid the price and others are able to go home. Okay? Thank God for that.
Wow, his only child. And if you're wondering how you can help, the local sheriff's office posted this to Facebook saying that there is an account set up with Wells Fargo Bank called the Kendrick Castillo Memorial Fund. And there is another video that is going viral right now from this school shooting. A 6th grader from the school was interviewed by CNN. Just listen to what he says.
I was hiding in the corner and they were right outside the door. I had my hand on the metal baseball bat just in case. Because I was going to go down fighting if I was going to go down.
That's just so wrong.
Chilling from head to toe, chilling. I feel like I'm having an out-of-body experience, even though we've covered this so many times just on our show, and we're a fairly new show. We've been around a year and a half, 2 years, and I can't even tell you how many school shootings we've covered. I still feel like I'm having an out-of-body experience seeing a 6th grader talk that way, even seeing the 17-year-old as eloquent and articulate as he was. That poor baby witnessed a school shooting, and I feel like he's in shock. He's got to be.
Yeah, it was almost as though he was like saying what he was going to do, but does he actually know what he's even saying? And like his I presume it was his dad that was stood next to him, and you could see his dad was like kind of, you know, trying to encourage him, like, you're doing the right thing. But like, look, you can see the dad's just stood there. I mean, I just don't know how he's so composed as he is, the father, like smiling. I mean, what else do you do in that situation? I mean, I really don't know. It's so heartbreaking.
I want to go back to the students walking out at the vigil because the Brady campaign was there. They put it on. Senator Michael Bennet and Representative Jason Crow were there. And then they started politicizing. They started, you know, campaigning almost in a way. Well, that 17-year-old, that kid who was talking about the 2 awesome people, I want the next time he talks about 2 awesome people will be those two people who were there to politicize. Be at a federal building with your agenda or with your what you want to put in place for gun safety or gun violence. Be at the front of the NRA politicizing. Don't be at a visual with a bunch of kids trying to push some sort of narrative.
Yeah, you're right about that. And listen, and I have a lot of respect for the Brady Foundation.
Absolutely.
I do,
Absolutely.
But they missed the mark on this one. The speakers that they had weren't involved with the school. They weren't students. They weren't parents. It was all politicians. So especially if you're going to market it as a vigil for Kendrick Castillo, they completely missed the mark on this one.
They missed the mark, but honestly, Brandon, I see what you're saying, and Sam, I completely see what you're saying. But I'm glad somebody's talking about this.
Right, but not at the vigil,
I think they missed the mark with that, but it's time to, because what happens, Sam, is we do this show every day, 24-hour news cycle. And for as much as we say, let's give them a little time to do that, by the time we circle back, there will have been, at this rate, another 2 of these, and we've completely lost, because I know if I lost my life or one of my children lost their lives, I would like to see that
action
stop. Yeah. And for as much as I like to see lit candles, and for as much as I appreciate thoughts and prayers, at this point, thoughts and prayers have a lot of dead children on the floor. Yeah. So we have to do this the other way. We have to forget thoughts and prayers and maybe do that next week. But today, right now, right this second, I need my politicians to say, I'm going to stop doing whatever I'm doing and get on this. And if everybody's politician does that, maybe we can see some kind of forward movement with this. Yeah. Because right now, we're just spinning our wheels.
Yeah, we need to be bipartisan. I really do believe that everybody wants the same thing. So we just have to all come together. DBL Nation, I know that you're writing in. Please continue to share your thoughts. Well, a man was just released from prison after serving 7 years, is getting help from an unlikely source. Kim Kardashian West and her husband Kanye flew down to Charlotte, North Carolina to meet with him and his family following his release. And Kim even brought her doctor who was there to help remove the man's face tattoos. He had apparently written to Kim asking for her help from prison, and now she's following through. Wow. Say what you want about Kim Kardashian. This woman is creating real change. Real change.
Yeah, whether you love her or you hate her, she's changing the criminal justice system, and she's sticking to her word. She said that this is what she's going to do, and I'm actually in shock that she's done it. She did an interview with Vogue, and they do a thing where it's called 73 questions, and it said, what's one thing in your lifetime you thought you'd never do? And she said, study law. Wow. And look at her, look what she's achieving.
But the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Her father was a fine lawyer, you know?
I honestly think, Sam and I were discussing this morning, Kim Kardashian thinks years ahead.
That's a smart woman. businesswoman, calculated.
I think this is her move maybe into the world of politics.
I agree with you. I do.
If she is going to move into that realm of politics, we want to make sure that she gives props or she pays homage to the people who are already social injustice activists. A lot of people are upset, and I'm not even entertaining the ones
this
that
is
are
a good
upset
point.
because they're like,
I know, yeah.
oh, she's a Kardashian trying to get into law. No, a lot of people are worried and upset that there have been people who have been on the front lines of prison reform for a long time. Now Kim K comes around, and it's like, oh, she is now the face of prison reform.
Right.
So I want to make sure we highlight the Michelle Alexanders, the CeCe McDonald's, the Angela Davises out there who have been fighting for quite some time and who have sacrificed a lot more than what Kim K is. I'm glad and I'm so thankful
But
of what she's doing.
may she also put their names on the map?
Put everybody.
Agreed.
Yes, but I mean, and I agree, but you know, everything has to have a face. Unfortunately, unless you have a celebrity backing you or talking about it, no one's going to be talking about this because this was going on before Kim Kardashian got involved, but people were just letting people sit in jail innocently. So whatever she's doing, all I know is, and it's so weird that we started with, yo, however you might think about her, like no matter what she's done. I'm like, we don't start a segment when we talk about Lindsay Lohan or somebody like that.
I know.
You know, so it's like, forget her past. She has, at least that we know, made 17 families whole again.
In 3
and that
months.
means something in my book.
That attributes to our conversation earlier when it comes to mass shootings. When you have broken families, you have broken children. And by locking people up for low-level drug offenses, and now this has become a bipartisan issue, which is a wonderful thing, we can hopefully start to heal our families again. Because if we invest in our families, we're going to be investing in our future, and we're going to be investing in healthy-minded individuals. And that all comes into play. It's all literally, there's so many different moving pieces to the puzzle of preventing mass shootings, and I believe this is one of them.
So who is going to be that celebrity? Who has enough star power and not enough skeletons in the closet for them to go ahead and fight that fight?
I don't even care if they have skeletons in the closet. Let's just see them have some action.
Let's talk about that in the break.
We all want action. We will continue that conversation in the break. So stay tuned, you guys. Go to our Facebook, our YouTube. We are live, and we'll keep that conversation going. DBL is live. We bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. And coming up, a story we need now more than ever. We'll show you how a community rallied behind a gentle giant and created a custom swing set for him, and explain why such a simple playground activity means so much to him. And you, the viewer, are our 5th host. Coming up next, we're sharing your opinions on a controversial topic. Magic mushrooms. Denver, Colorado just became the very first city in America to decriminalize the drug. Should other cities follow suit? Your comments are next.
I am happy that you won the Sandals Dream Vacation.
DBL Nation, this could be you. This May, Daily Blast Live is giving away another Sandals Luxury Included vacation. Just watch DBL every day for the word of the day. Then go to dailyblastlive.com/sandals to enter. The winner will be announced May 22nd. The next Sandals vacation winner could be you.
Guys, we're getting your comments in right now. We got Barbara on YouTube. I can't imagine losing my child like that. We need action. Barbara, you are not alone. We are all haunted by that very thought. Jonas or nieces, nephews. Jonas on YouTube. Honestly, if Kim K wants to put in the work, this is an awesome move for her, and she has put in the work. Nancy on YouTube. Well said, Sam. Families need to be more of a priority in this country, and it's true. I mean, we miss that. We don't have mandated family leave like in other countries, and so even if a father does get paternity leave because he's afforded that, whether it's through his company or because he has the money to take some time off, they get shamed for it. But the reality is there is no mandated family leave, though.
Shamed or like low-level threatened. Like, okay, yeah, take all the time you
wasn't
need.
there a baseball player that got? There was a baseball player. This was years ago, maybe 5 years ago. It made news because he was going to take time off to be with his son. He was going to miss a handful of games because how many games are played in baseball? A lot.
162.
And so many of the fans were shaming him. You have so much money. You have this. You have the best life in the world. How dare you take time off? And meanwhile, he's just trying to reinvest into his own family.
Yeah.
He got completely shamed.
Absolutely, and people, they're insensitive when it comes to that. Like, God forbid you miss a game or something to take care of yourself or your family.
Right.
I mean,
we see that with singers too. I mean, I know we're picking out more of these like larger than life celebrities, and maybe that's unrelatable, but they should be able to raise their children too.
Well, Amy Schumer, remember when she was having problems with the morning sickness, she had to cancel that Texas show. And
she got pushed back.
She got pushed back. It's like, hey, I'm having morning sickness. What am I supposed to do?
Right.
But I was saying before we went to the break, like, who could be that celebrity, or who could be those celebrities to be the face of this movement when it comes to this gun violence? I think it's going to be all hands on deck, because you pick somebody, there's always going to be a blowback.
You know, it would have to be like, who's the singer that was in the Vegas shooting, Jason Aldean? Yeah. It's going to have to be him. It's because a lot of, let's be honest, a lot of people that follow that, you know, are also gun advocates. And it's going to be somebody that's on their side, quote unquote, to be like, this is not right.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host, when we talk about what you're talking about. Voters right here in Denver narrowly approved the decriminalization of psychedelic mushrooms. That doesn't mean mushrooms are legal. It just means adults over 21 will not be arrested. Experts say this could support people with PTSD, depression, and nicotine addiction, but opponents say mushrooms won't be used responsibly. So DBL Nation, should magic mushrooms be decriminalized?
Here we go. Richard from, depending on where you're from Facebook says, Denver should be voting on gun issues, not mushrooms. Well, they did vote last month on the red flag legislation, which removes firearms from high-risk people and mentally ill people. So they are voting on that. But when it comes to mushrooms, I don't know. It's legal in other countries, so I guess we need to look at their legislation of what they put in place
and what worked.
Just piggyback off of that.
Yeah.
But in America, we overdo everything.
Brandon, how old are you?
I'm 34.
In 34 years of life, have you ever heard anybody say I was attacked by a man on mushrooms?
Absolutely not.
Have you ever heard somebody say I was attacked by a drunken man in a bar?
Yep.
Okay.
There we go.
Wow. Good point.
Good point, Al. Ricky on Facebook says, I support this because it's just decriminalization. Do we really need to incarcerate people for eating mushrooms?
Or drinking them.
Or drinking them. Apparently they make a wonderful tea, I'll have you know. But I mean, I think, you know, these are very, like, what's the right word I'm looking for? Low-level drugs.
Right, low-level
They're not
drug.
like an A-class drug. And I think there are far more important things that we all need to be focusing on. One being guns, for example. I think it's down to you. Do what you want to do. I have no particular. I don't care.
If that person is driving or something like that,
I think,
yeah. But if you just
you could be on not Xanax. What's the legal Unisom? Like you could be on sleeping medication, and that could be bad. Yeah. All right, Kevin from Facebook says, "Are we really dumbing down society? Now every drug addict in the world will be looking to move to Denver." Kevin, I don't know about that. But you know, look. Mushrooms have been around forever. People are going to do mushrooms. People will do them. They did them before we got here. They'll be doing them long after we're gone. What we have to question is, like, do we want to put these people in jail? Are we a better society for having somebody that likes to do mushrooms and go out to the forest and stare up at the leaves? I don't think so. If you think that that person should be in jail and you want to use your taxpayer dollars to make sure that they stay there, then make sure you get out and vote on the next referendum.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. One more comment here. Move over, Martha Stewart. Oh, this is actually me setting up the next story. All right, no more comments. That's okay. Let's get to Raquel, because apparently Martha Stewart is no longer the one that has, I'm trying to save this, by the way, from messing up.
Keep going.
Is no longer the one that has her own home goods brand. Ooh. A music icon is launching one as well.
Is it
Raquel,
me?
It's not you. Raquel.
You did a great job with that, Sam. So right now, Dolly Parton is actually launching her very own lifestyle brand, and the collection is so big, Dolly says you might even see my mug on a mug. Now, these aren't the actual mugs. They're just kind of what I'm hoping to see. She's been working 9 to 5 on the line that will include clothing, jewelry, and home goods, and it's based off of Dolly's personal style, so expect to see some Americana-themed pieces. No word on when the products will debut, but DBL Nation, would you buy Dolly's new line?
Who doesn't love Dolly? We all love Dolly.
This is going to be hilarious.
I'm not saying I don't love her. I don't know her enough to love her.
I don't think you're her demo, Brandon.
Okay.
But yeah, I think. But you know, it does. I feel what you're saying. She just seems really cool.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take that.
I want some serious homeware. I want cushions with rhinestones and tassels and leather.
Steph, are rhinestones
cool
coming
stuff.
back?
Oh, I love a good rhinestone. I love a bit of glitz.
Okay.
I love her.
That's her demo.
Yeah.
That's her demo.
Well, no, I think, listen, we can all agree that Dolly Parton dances to the beat of her own drum. So if you just want to be unique, you'll appreciate someone else's uniqueness.
Okay.
So everybody can appreciate
Team Dolly,
this
hashtag.
Dolly. Coming up on DBL, we'll show you how a special swing set is making all the difference in a young man's life. Heart Threads is next.
On DBL Nation, Brandon London here. Tori's out on assignment, so I'm taking over her digital breaks. At first, I was going to talk about how I wanted people to educate me on Dolly Parton because, I mean, obviously growing up, I didn't listen to her music or watch her shows or anything.
Make it funny. Don't do it. Don't do it. Make it funny.
Remix!
If you were with us on the first season, you remember that song. I like Brandon's remix.
I'm gonna remix that. Yeah. So since I'm like I guess the 34-year-old millennial here, there are like I don't want to say older celebrities. There are celebrities who have come before my time that everyone's in the meetings and I was like, yeah, this person was in the original Star is Born. This person she played Toto on The Wizard of Oz, or she blah 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 blah. And I'm sitting there like, not knowing, but I love it because I research it and I learn. Like it's like I'm one of those people who don't know like faces and like names. Like I can see a face and be like, oh, that's that person, but I won't know a name. But when they're strictly saying names, like this morning they asked me, did I know who Judy Garland was? I've heard the name millions of times, but I didn't know she was. She actually played Dorothy on. I know it was Dorothy Peter. See, they're always shaming me here. But on another note, first and foremost, thank you all for watching. Make sure you guys check out the Jersey Off Suit On podcast that's going down on IGTV on DBL, talking the lifestyle of sports. Jersey Off Suit On. When the game ends, the lifestyle begins. We've got Heart Threads.
Today's watch and win word is sand.
Welcome back to DBL. Now today's Heart Threads is about helping others. Our own Erica Cobb shows us a custom-made swing that made all the difference for a young man with autism.
This gentle giant got a specially made swing from a kind stranger. Kobe is 23, stands almost 7 feet tall, and weighs more than 200 pounds. Although he graduated high school, he doesn't have a job because he has autism and is nonverbal. But Kobe finds joy on his custom-made swing.
I mean, he's out here 5-10 times a day at night, in the morning, rain or shine, and as soon as he gets off of it, there's an immediate, calm.
Kobe had long outgrown his old swing.
He started getting whelps on the sides of his legs, on both sides of his thighs. He would actually be bleeding through his blue jeans.
So Kobe's mom reached out to everyone she could for help. She was turned away many times until she came to Alan Ellison. Alan came with an engineer and put together a swing just for Kobe.
His size and his love for swinging and how it helps him, mentally and physically. And we just got excited about an opportunity to give back to someone.
Just amazing. Restored my faith, let's put it that way.
That was beautiful, and we'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Welcome back to the DBL Stream Team. I'm Leo here with Stu to talk about HBO's Veep this week. Oh my goodness, y'all. This is a political comedy on HBO where you can stream on HBO Go, HBO Now. And it's been running for 7 seasons. And honestly, I'm just now getting into it, but Stu here has been on it since day one.
Yeah, so I've been on it from the start. It's from Scottish writer Armando Iannucci, which is a weird Scottish name. But basically he is, it's a fast, crass, like inside look into American politics. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is the main character. You know her from Seinfeld.
Yes.
It's fast, it's funny, it's one of my favorite shows, and I definitely check in every Sunday. Now, I will say, season finale is coming up. This is the last season. So if you haven't seen it, start from the beginning. Enjoy the whole thing. It's only half-hour episodes. Super easy.
And it's incredibly funny, man. I mean, this episode was the first episode I actually dived into this series, and I could easily follow this series pretty cohesively without having to go back to the first episode. You know, some context was a little unclear, but everything was very funny, light, it rolled quickly. I mean, I was really enjoying myself for not having watched 6 more seasons.
The cool thing, too, is it kind of mirrors our political landscape. So a lot of things they're talking about now is it's kind of like mirroring Trump, but not mentioning his name ever. And in past seasons, they kind of do that with other political people as well. So you kind of get the feeling that you're up on current events, which is nice.
Yeah, and this episode focused specifically on their presidential race, am I right?
Yes, and that's almost every season. So in a weird way, you get this deja vu, but also it's always fresh and new. Different characters are doing different things, but it also, again, kind of mirrors American politics. It's the same people every year doing the same thing. So it's a lot of fun. The cool thing is it's joke-driven and character-driven.
That's so great.
As opposed to plot-driven.
Yeah.
So like if you miss an episode,
it's not a big one.
Yeah, you might not get a joke the same way, but it's always funny. It's always enjoyable.
Yeah, and also coming up, guys, on Hulu, they're getting Broad City, the very last season that just aired on Comedy Central, and Netflix is also getting Lucifer, which is coming off of Fox and going to be produced by Netflix originally. But this is all we have for this time, guys. We'll see you next time on the DBL Stream Team. Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. What do we got out?
Right, Sam. Doris Shoemaker commenting on the Heart Threads piece on YouTube says that was a good, heartfelt clip.
We needed it. We needed it.
And this is in regards to Kim K. Jonas from YouTube says, honestly, if Kim K wants to put in the work, this is an awesome move for her. I'd agree. And Nancy on YouTube says, well said, Sam. Families need to be more of a priority in this country. Couldn't agree more.
It really does.
I know we need to start with mandated family leave and start by not breaking up families with prison reform.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think there is so much that needs to be done, and there's a lot of room for improvement here.
Agreed. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Hi, DBL Nation. Kelly Schuberth here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news, but guess what else I'm talking about? The 10-day challenge, because it's the last day. How'd you do? Let me know. Write in. Brandon, come over here. Are you excited because it's the last day of the 10-day challenge?
Yesterday was the last day.
Well, you know what I mean? It's over.
You know what? Just because it's over, like we all still don't want to drink alcohol.
Nope.
We all don't want sugar. I had 4 M&Ms yesterday, and I felt like terrible.
You felt bad.
I felt so bad.
Yeah, you're just more conscious about what you're eating.
Yeah, you have to be. I mean, you absolutely have to be, and like especially when you're seeing results. Like when we got on and we did the BMI, like our body mass index and our weight, everyone could kind of tell through the faces of the trainers and stuff that we all probably dropped some weight and stuff. So
I love
when you're seeing results, I think results is the best form of motivation because you're like, I'm actually doing it. I'm sticking through something. Yeah, I had my days where, I drank some alcohol or something, but then I felt so bad about it. I beat myself up in the
Yep.
gym the next day.
Exactly.
So it's accountability.
You make up
when
for
it
it.
comes to
Yep.
it.
I'm doing that Weight Watchers. I'm not doing the 10-day challenge, but I'm doing Weight Watchers, and I can see the results happening on the scale. So you know that is the
Absolutely.
motivation to keep
Just
me
keep
going.
it going.
It's working,
Keep it
yay!
going.
You know,
Keep it
DBL
going.
Nation, we want to know from you. Are you going to keep it going? Are you still going to eat sugar, the alcohol?
Are you still waiting on my thirst trap body?
Ooh, ooh. Who do you think won, DBL Nation? Send me in your guess. Bye.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You think this hair just naturally stays like that?
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It is Thursday, May 9th. We are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. I'm here with Jeff, Al, and Erica's back. We missed you, girl. Welcome back, Erica Cobb. The puzzle's complete. Let's get started. You guys have to see this. It looks like a scene from a movie. A massive gun bust in an exclusive neighborhood in Los Angeles. Police and federal agents responded to an anonymous tip and seized more than 1,000 firearms from a house near the Playboy Mansion. It is reportedly owned by a woman named Cynthia Beck, who has 3 daughters with the son of John Paul Getty. That's according to the LA Times. The LAPD released these photos saying a suspect was arrested on suspicion of possessing, selling, and manufacturing assault weapons. In addition to the guns, thousands of rounds of ammo were also found in the home. And just to provide, to give you guys to paint a picture in your mind to our viewers, because we've all lived in Los Angeles, this neighborhood, first of all, just in this little street, not even 500 yards, I mean, maybe a half a mile, you've got the Playboy Mansion, you've got the Aaron Spelling Mansion, you've got Jay-Z and Beyonce, then you got this house that's worth $7 million. Who would have thought? I mean, the LAPD said in their 31 years, at least the lieutenant that's working on the case has never seen anything remotely like this.
Well, it's a business. Guns are a business. You know, I mean, there's guns dealers. It's $1 billion business. That's why it's hard to pass anything, to try to remove some of them, not all of them. It's always going to be a business.
That's money.
Make a lot of,
That's money.
It's money. That's
it could
what
be
it is.
bricks of cocaine. It could be this. That's the same thing. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a business. That's why it's hard to change any laws about it, because there's so much money in it.
And the reason why that they're able to go in there was an anonymous tip.
Yeah, well, when you're doing business like that, a lot of people know about it. It's only a matter of time before someone spills the beans, probably to save their own butt. But I mean, you see things like this. I don't know why people are so surprised that it happens.
Al said the same thing.
Neighborhoods.
I'm just surprised of that many guns. I'm just surprised by that many guns, Erica.
Well, it could be any. I don't know exactly what this is, but I know a lot of people have experienced this in different states. Sometimes it comes down to money laundering. Sometimes it comes down to other things. But generally, it happens in a more affluent neighborhood where people aren't suspecting.
And because they're making money.
Right, and that's where the money is.
Right, there's a market for this. Like Jeff said, everybody's like, they can't believe this. It's like, people will exchange money for goods that they want. Whether it is cocaine, whether it's drugs, whether it's a brand new pool in the back. People use money for what they want and what they need. And we don't like to talk about it, but there's a lot of businesses in which guns are very useful in. And people are going to continue to pay money. You make them on the blacklist, they're just going to go up in value, and they'll be more and more of a commodity. So I don't know how we're going to get out of this. We have a gun for every man, woman, and children in this country. And there's 320 million of us, so we can do that math.
Wow. Yeah, that's a disturbing statistic. And speaking of guns, and that's even an uncomfortable thing to say, but that is our new normal. A vigil was held for the school shooting here in Colorado, and last night a protest in the middle of it erupted. Students and parents spontaneously walked out after the conversation became political, chanting mental health. The event was originally described as an interfaith memorial vigil. Meantime, we are learning more about what went on inside the classroom with one of the suspected gunmen who is accused of killing 18-year-old Kendrick Castillo. Here's how his fellow classmate described the scene.
What I saw yesterday was the absolute best of people. I got to see two heroes, two regular high school kids, two really awesome people jump into action without any hesitation, and I was more than lucky to join them in doing that action. Someone entered the building with incredibly malicious intent, using their cowardice, surprise, and superior weapons, and they lost. They completely and utterly lost to good people.
Wow, and in my opinion, you're looking at yet another victim because he had to witness all of that. We are also hearing from Kendrick Castillo's family about their son's death. Take a look.
To see all of his friends alive and him offer up his life, I know that's what he would do. Our son paid the price and others are able to go home. Okay? Thank God for that.
Wow, his only child. Unbelievable. If you're wondering how you can help, the local sheriff's office posted this to Facebook saying that there is an account set up with Wells Fargo called the Kendrick Castillo Memorial Fund. And there's another video that is going viral right now from this school shooting. A 6th grader from the school was interviewed by CNN. Just listen to what he has to say.
I was hiding in the corner and they were right outside the door. I had my hand on the metal baseball bat just in case. Because I was going to go down fighting if I was going to go down.
Wow. That's where we're at, huh?
Yeah.
That's where we're at. Erica, you weren't here yesterday, and you know how I feel about all this stuff. And I do want to say one thing, though. I'm very proud of our show because I see viral videos and I see the picture of Kendrick Castillo and all over the internet saying this is the real story. This is the hero of the story. And you know what? On this show, we choose to show his face, show the hero's face, and we do not even mention the shooter. So bravo
I don't even know
to
the
our
shooter's
producers.
names,
I don't know
what they look like,
so
and I'm
bravo
glad.
to our show.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of our show.
Thank you for
Erica,
saying that.
I want to know what you think about all this.
I'm just thinking of this young man, Kendrick, because he was born, 2 years after Columbine. He was round 4, the Aurora Theater shooting. All of these things within the proximity of right around Denver, which are where we're living right now. And so when you listen to these kids having these conversations, they're so matter of fact about so many things because that's the fact of the matter for them since birth. I'm really proud of kids who, it's not even kids, they're souls. Like, I'm proud of the souls who run towards the action because it's such a selfless thing to do. But ultimately what happened last night with the vigil, it's really disheartening because we have enough division, but for some reason, and I think partially because of grief, there's more. And I know that that's necessarily what the answer is. I don't have that either.
A lot of credit for their work. The Brady Foundation, I give them a lot of credit for their work in trying to prevent gun violence, but they missed the mark here, Al. Like, listen, I want them to advocate to change legislation, but this was marketed as a vigil for Kendrick Castillo, and all the speakers were politicians, not students, not principals, teachers. It wasn't the right place or the right time, in my opinion.
Yeah, but then, Sam, my question is, when is the right place and the right time? Like, as far as I know, we're doing the show tomorrow, right? And the next day. We are in a 24-hour news cycle period, and 2 days from now, we'll be talking about Britney Spears' new fragrance, and we'll be talking about what we're doing this weekend, and this story will get lost in the wash because, unfortunately, these are so frequent. I think, unfortunately, we don't have time to have visuals anymore. We don't have the time that it takes to light a candle at a visual. We don't have time. We don't have time to hear the students speak. That's what a crisis we're in. We need politicians, people that can make change right now because this happened this week. This happened last week. This will probably happen next week.
Yeah, but although, Al, I got to argue, I hear you, believe me, and I'm on your side and I agree with you, but I also think what's missing is that we aren't allowing people to have grief. We're not allowing these kids to have grief. And then if you don't treat the mental health aspect of it with the PTSD, with just being able to have an opportunity to hold one another, that's also contributing, just as much as guns are and the lack of legislation in this country, that's also contributing to where we are today, in my opinion.
I would say these kids have nothing but a lifetime of grief in front of them.
Well, then they need all the love and kindness and hugs and counselors and yeah, I mean, I can't believe we're continuing this conversation every single week. It feels like it's just enough is enough.
I share your frustration.
And when you say continued, it's a different conversation every week. It's not even continued because we don't have to continue anything. It's a different story every single week.
I know. You feel our frustration and our emotions. Please chime in. We know that you're feeling the same thing. DBL is live. We'll bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. Coming up, a story we need now more than ever. There is good out there. We'll show you how a community rallied behind a gentle giant and created a custom swing set for him and explain why such a simple playground activity means so much to him. Then a contestant on The Bachelorette has a side gig that is raising eyebrows. He's fathered more than 100 children. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. Coming up next, we're sharing your opinions on a controversial topic, magic mushrooms. Denver, Colorado just became the first city in America to decriminalize the drug. Should other cities follow suit? Your comments coming up next.
Hi DBL Nation, Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital Team. I gotta know what you think about that Magic Mushrooms fifth host. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. I guess enough people and think it's safe enough to do it, which awesome. I've never done shrooms, so I'm not sure, but it sounds like everyone has a good time with them. I don't know. But DBL Nation, please write in. Have you ever done them? What do you think about this being decriminalized? I think the next step could be they could be legal. And what do you think about that? Let's go to the desk and see what's going on over here. Hey Jeff, what's going on? We're all kind of sad about this, so I'm going to talk about magic mushrooms instead. What do you think about this?
Either this hour or next hour.
From what I think about it.
1:20
to about
Give us anything. What do you think about it, Brandon?
That's not also 12,
I mean, it's legal in other countries.
That's true. That's a good point.
I mean, but I just don't think America can handle certain things that other
fair.
countries, like, you know,
Yeah, I mean,
drinking
with
age
the
being
turmoil
18.
we're in, we can't even handle that. So,
Drinking
yeah.
age being 18 in Canada. I think
Yep.
we overdo that here as well. So.
Yep. Well, DBL Nation, I want to know what you think. Please send us your comments. We've got the word of the day coming up, too, to win the sandals contest, so that's exciting. We'll keep you updated, but let us know what you think about that fifth host, because I really want to read your comments. All right, bye, guys.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for fifth host when we talk about what you're talking about. Voters right here in Denver narrowly approved the decriminalization of psychedelic mushrooms. That doesn't mean mushrooms are legal. It just means adults over 21 will not be arrested. Experts say this could support people with PTSD, depression, and nicotine addiction. But opponents say mushrooms won't be used responsibly. So DBL Nation, should magic mushrooms be decriminalized?
All right, Sam. Casher from Facebook says, first marijuana, now mushrooms. What's next? We all need to be drug-free, productive people in this country, unless it's for a medical condition. Casher, I'd argue that PTSD is a medical condition. I would argue with people with rheumatoid arthritis do have medical conditions, and we found that rather than stringing these people out with pharmaceutical drugs, that drugs that grow straight from the ground seem to be working much better with much less addictive properties. So do your research and then get back to me and let me know what you find out.
Marianne from Facebook says, decriminalize all you want. Employers will still drug test and have standards for hiring, and DUI laws will remain.
No one's driving on mushrooms.
Yeah, well,
and if someone does, then there should be consequences. But that's not.
Be able to put the key in.
Well, Marianne, well, for starters, I don't really remember what you said, but sorry, go ahead.
Wait, she said decriminalize all you want. Employers will still drug test and have standards.
Yeah, yes. I hope so. Okay, keep going.
Shook Erica's train of thought. All right.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Erica. Kathy from Facebook says most people don't realize that these drugs have been proven to show great results for treating PTSD. If it continues to be illegal, doctors cannot use them for treatment. Well, Kathy, I think there's a difference between legal drugs and pharmaceutical drugs. I think it's different. I think doctors could still use them if people aren't using them recreationally. Jeez, decriminalization recreationally and judicial. For me, I'm against it. You know what I mean? I know I sound like the old fuddy-dud on the panel, but I'm against it. I don't think we could handle the drugs that we have already right now. But it's just funny to me that being here in Denver and living here and kind of being a place where a lot of these shootings go down, we're worried about let's legalize mushrooms or not. I understand it's a problem that people deal with, but I think we have other problems on the table that we need to handle.
I appreciate where you're coming from. I just think they're correlated. I think the more, again, we've talked about how families are broken up. I think the more times you have disenfranchised individuals and families who are broken up, families that are moms and dads locked up, separated from their children because of a low-level drug offense, that is creating children out there who are going to be disenfranchised. So I think it's correlated.
Just from my experience, I've never done mushrooms. Not that it should matter or shouldn't matter, but I've seen people on mushrooms, and I know you're on mushrooms.
But do you think that a mom or dad should be locked up away from their children, or then that single parent then has to work full time, and then that child has no example of what a family is like, or even has a parent in their life?
I totally get what you're saying, but maybe it should be medically prescribed as opposed to being recreational, because
I just think we lock up way too many people in this country.
We just did a story about someone getting overserved and shooting up 8 people. Mushrooms is a totally different level than
yeah.
weed
I think there should be
alcohol.
consequences. Don't get me wrong. I think there should be consequences, but the fact that we lock up how many people in this country in comparison to everyone else?
One out of every 4 people that are in jail in the world are here in this country.
And I think that attributes to the broken families, and I think that does stem into many other issues.
You're
that we
right,
deal
and
with.
I totally agree with you, and I totally agree that there are properties to help other people.
Right.
So it is a balance, but we just need to find that balance.
Yeah, exactly. Coming up on DBL, restaurant red flags. We're counting down the germiest, nastiest ways you can get sick at restaurants. But first, drama is the name of the game in reality television, and we've got the clips you're talking about in Reality Roundup.
Talk that into the side of your mouth at the second.
Hey, DBL Nation, and welcome to The Breaks, where we talk the latest trending stories around the web. Guys, oh my goodness, the 10-day challenge is over. Thank goodness. But y'all, I had a cheeseburger yesterday, and I wasn't feeling it, so I think this is going to have an effect on my life. I think I'm really going to change my diet and get into some more healthy habits. But this is trending off of Yahoo. Plane prices are actually decreasing right now, especially after the Boeing 737 accident that happened earlier, I believe in April. And after these accidents, prices have been dropping. Guys, this is the time to be looking for a flight right now. If you're looking around on airline websites, the prices have definitely gone down by as low as 1% and even up a little bit higher. So, like I said, right now is the time to be looking. Boeing is trying to fix that situation, and things are kind of going sticky with that one right now. But I'm thinking about taking a flight a little bit later this year. DBL Nation, write us in and let us know if you're flying anywhere super soon, because I'm thinking about taking a flight with this news. But again, write us in as well about the 10-day challenge and if you did it and how you feel, because, man, my energy is good, my health is good, but I'm not liking cheeseburgers and those usual awesome greasy items I used to love. DBL Nation, write us in and let us know, and we'll see you next break. And clear.
Welcome back to DBL. It's the part of the show where we obsess over our favorite reality TV moments. That's right. It is time for Reality Roundup. We even got Jeff Schroeder joining us. You may not know, but he is a huge Vanderpump Rules fan. Him and I.
Guilty pleasure.
Yeah, we geek out to it every week. We call it Vandy.
Vandy's Monday night. So sad. It's almost over.
I know. Speaking of it almost being over, it is the first episode of a 3-part reunion with Andy Cohen, and with the entire cast all in one room. You can imagine things got, well, pretty heated. Take a look.
How
on.
Why are you allowing? He's belittling her as she's talking.
Because
you are belittling Raquel.
You guys are belittle Raquel. He just said she just called herself a beauty queen. That's all he said.
Okay, go on.
Thank you. I can see why you might think that as a beauty queen, I would want to be on the show.
Well, yeah, and it even got even more heated. Them calling her dumb, and then her defending herself, and them continuing to say that she was dumb. It was very uncomfortable.
The dress was uncomfortable for me. Coming out in that dress, and you don't want people to get on you. Well, that was a bad choice.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I just love this nonsense drama. We deal with a lot of important things on this show a lot, and I like just going home to nonsense like that. It releases me.
I don't follow Vanderpump Rules all that much, but
Erica,
I do get one or two episodes, or maybe 3, the reunion generally, but it's always interesting to me because I see it and I'm like, oh, that's the face formerly known as server number 4. What is happening with these transformations?
I know.
Their faces don't even look the same.
Some of them have definitely used a little bit too much plumping and other things as well.
And they're young.
That's true. It's true. Next on Mama June from Not to Hot, June gets some tough love from her sister about what may be a toxic relationship.
And I don't know what the future holds for me and him. I really don't. Well, then kick him out and find out. I can't.
Oh, Mama June has I'm sorry, I know Erica with the eye roll. Like, it's more than that because we all know that Mama June has had horrific relationships with child molesters.
Yes. Yeah, she's put her children in danger. I don't understand why this woman gets a show. I don't get it at all. Like, I'm not supporting this.
Agreed. Good.
I'm on the same page. I was like, how do you still have a show?
Yeah.
What's going, who's watching
Because
this
you
show?
had a physical transformation from not to hot.
You know, it's funny. I'm like, who's watching this show? And I just said, I love Vanderpump
That's
Rules.
different. You have no convicted,
To each their own,
convicted pedophiles on that show. All right, and finally, on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the ladies go camping. Yes, you heard that right. The ladies borrow an RV. They hit the road. Take a look.
Why wouldn't you say that to me, Camille, in the moment when we're all sitting there? What I've noticed about you is you like to talk out of the side of your mouth, but the second you're with somebody to their face, you back down, and you have a whole new story to play.
My face is right here.
Teddy almost baby doll melon camp. She has come out of her shell. She was like, I am a millennial, hear me roar. She has things to say. But Camille needs to be careful because Camille is revisiting season 1, Camille Beverly Hills. And
That's
you remember,
not good.
she was the villain. She has something to say about everybody. And as soon as, Teddy's right, as soon as she's right in front of them, she gets real closed lips, girl. Just say it. You feel that way, say it.
Yeah, season 1 Camille was a disaster. She was stirring the pot. She definitely seemed medicated, and I say that respectfully, but she seemed medicated the entire first season. And yeah, she's not the Camille that we started to love in season 2 and 3. Yeah, I'm not feeling you, Camille, at all. I'm on Team Teddy. What are you on?
Get it together, girl.
I gotta go with Teddy.
Yeah,
but I'm always really just Team Erica Jane.
I know.
Whether she's in it or not.
Girl, we all love Erica Jane. Please. All right, that was Reality Roundup. Did you enjoy it?
I love it. I love me some good reality TV.
Speaking of reality TV, a contestant on The Bachelorette has a very interesting side gig, and it involves fathering more than 100 kids. But first, we'll show you how a special swing set is making all the difference in a young man's life. Heart Threads is next.
Promotional consideration.
DBL Nation. Kelly and Chris here with the DBL Digital team.
Hey, everybody.
We are having a lot of laughs in here today. I think everyone's happy the 10-day challenge is over. They're still going to do it, but not as strict. But today, Sam, I can't let her hear me talking about this, but she brought in a beautiful salad with kale, and it had almonds in it and apples.
Some berries, too.
Yeah, some berries, and all of a sudden I hear Jeff be like, oh, that smells so bad. So, Jeff played a prank on some people in the office, and I want you guys to go watch the video because it's pretty funny. It's just a stinky salad. Ooh, it's on the DBL Nation Facebook page. You gotta go there and watch it right now. Let me know what you think about it. Do you play any pranks? Do you have any ideas for pranks I could play on the host?
This is just the latest chapter in Stinky Food at DBL.
Yeah, we have a lot of funny things that happen behind the scenes there, and I'm just gonna.
Food here.
That's where we're dropping them in DBL Nation Facebook feed. So definitely go there.
Behind the scenes.
Yep, that's where to find it.
Yep.
But again, don't let Sam know I talked about her stinky salad. Oh no, She caught us. So anyway, let us know any other pranks you play on people in your office, or any pranks I could maybe play on Jeff or any of the other hosts.
What?
I would love to do that. We're talking about pranks here.
We posted a video of you trying to give Brooke the stinky salad.
Yeah, we're posting all our funny behind the scenes
Yes.
videos on DBL Nation Facebook feed now, so we want everyone to go there and
the
watch
DBL
it.
Nation Facebook group. That's where you're going to catch all these behind the scenes videos. All right, guys, it's just
Check
a
it
different
out.
way to enjoy DBL. Also, we got a lot of other stuff going on at DBL right now.
Yeah.
We have a sandals contest. We're giving away a cruise.
Do you want to know
Not
what the
a
word
cruise,
of the day
I'm
is?
sorry, a beach vacation. Yeah, the word of the day is
sand.
So go to dailyblastlive.com to enter. We also have a fully clothed and afraid
Yes,
contest.
that's happening this weekend. Big Jeff, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're not gonna have your makeup team out there with
So
you.
it's Jeff and Al.
Big Jeff.
No, I'm just trying
I'm
to get
Jeff
you
in
riled
here.
up.
I'm Big Jeff in the wild.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
And
gonna
you
be
watch
all right.
you watch Naked and
I
Afraid
love
too, right?
Naked
Me
and
too.
Afraid.
I love
I
that
love it.
show. So I'm pretty excited for our Fully Clothed and Afraid.
I'm gonna go like maybe do an REI or some sports store and get some.
Yep.
Maybe a little knife.
Maybe a little
Maybe a
machete.
poncho.
Yeah, on Beverly Hills last night, they went on Beverly Hills Real Housewives, they went camping, and it was not camping at all. It was glamping for sure.
You never know in Denver.
What are you guys chatting about? Oh, it's gonna be cold. I checked the forecast.
I'm gonna get some
It's gonna
long
be chilly.
johns.
Yes, get some long
Because
johns.
layers.
It's all about the
is the
layers
thing to
here in
do.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So DBL Nation, let us know you have any tips for them this weekend. Fully
Also,
Clothed and
when you
Afraid, that's
enter the
coming up.
contest, you have to pick which team you think is going to win.
Yes.
So you have to pick Al and Jeff, or Tori and Sam. So we're going to pick people.
I don't know,
We're going to pick
Sam?
top winners from each team, and then whichever team wins actually ends up being the top
Listen,
first place.
I think Sam may have some tricks up her sleeve.
Sam might be all right.
Sam's
I don't
gonna
think
have
Al
some
can
tricks
hear
up her
me,
sleeve.
And Tori's not here. It's just who's the bigger anchor.
Who's?
That's what's going on. Who is going to be the bigger anchor for your team? Is it going to be Al or is it going to be Tori? My money's on Tori.
No, guys,
Bye,
go
everybody.
to the Daily Boss Live Facebook page and do that. Bye.
Today's watch and win word is sand.
Welcome back to DBL. Now today's Heart Threads is about helping others. Our own Erica Cobb shows us a custom-made swing that made all the difference for a young man with autism.
This gentle giant got a specially made swing from a kind stranger. Kobe is 23, stands almost 7 feet tall, and weighs more than 200 pounds. Although he graduated high school, he doesn't have a job because he has autism and is nonverbal. But Kobe finds joy on his custom-made swing.
I mean, he's out here 5-10 times a day at night, in the morning, rain or shine, and as soon as he gets off of it, there's an immediate, calm.
Kobe had long outgrown his old swing.
He started getting whelps on the sides of his legs, on both sides of his thighs. He would actually be bleeding through his blue jeans.
So Kobe's mom reached out to everyone she could for help. She was turned away many times until she came to Alan Ellison. Alan came with an engineer and put together a swing just for Kobe.
His size and his love for swinging and how it helps him, mentally and physically. And we just got excited about an opportunity to give back to someone.
Just amazing. Restored my faith, let's put it that way.
Welcome back to the DBL Stream Team. I'm Leo here with Stu to talk about HBO's Veep this week. Oh my goodness, y'all. This is a political comedy on HBO where you can stream on HBO Go, HBO Now. And it's been running for 7 seasons. And honestly, I'm just now getting into it. But Stu here has been on it since day one.
Yeah, so I've been on it from the start. It's from Scottish writer Armando Iannucci, which is a weird Scottish name. But basically, he is... it's a fast, crass, inside look into American politics. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is the main character. You know her from Seinfeld.
Yes.
It's fast, it's funny, it's one of my favorite shows, and I definitely check in every Sunday. Now, I will say, season finale is coming up. This is the last season. So if you haven't seen it, start from the beginning. Enjoy the whole thing. It's only half-hour episodes. Super easy.
And it's incredibly funny, man. I mean, this episode was the first episode I actually dived into this series, and I could easily follow this series pretty cohesively without having to go back to the first episode. You know, some context was a little unclear, but everything was very funny, light, it rolled quickly. I mean, I was really enjoying myself for not having watched 6 more seasons.
The cool thing, too, is it kind of mirrors our political landscape. So a lot of things they're talking about now is it's kind of like mirroring Trump, but not mentioning his name ever. And in past seasons, they kind of do that with other political people as well. So you kind of get the feeling that you're up on current events, which is nice.
Yeah, and this episode focused specifically on their presidential race, am I right?
Yes, and that's almost every season. So in a weird way, you get this deja vu, but also it's always fresh and new. Different characters are doing different things, but it also, again, kind of mirrors American politics. It's
That's
the same
awesome.
people every year doing the same thing. So it's a lot of fun. The cool thing is it's joke-driven and character-driven.
That's so great.
As opposed to plot-driven.
Yeah.
So like if you miss an episode,
It's not a big one.
Yeah, you might not get a joke the same way, but it's always funny. It's always enjoyable.
Yeah, and also coming up, guys, on Hulu, they're getting Broad City, the very last season that just aired on Comedy Central. And Netflix is also getting Lucifer, which is coming off of Fox and going to be produced by Netflix originally.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. We are live and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. So let's get started. The next season of The Bachelorette is just around the corner, and Hannah Brown is the next woman who will have her pick from 30 different men. And we're learning more about those men. There's one that caught our attention and many on social media. His name is Mateo Valls. He's 25, studied mechanical engineering, and has a virtual reality startup. But that's not all. He's also a sperm donor who has helped create 114 children. So, Erica, if you were looking for your future husband, would that bother you? Would that impact if you were to marry?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
First of all, 114 seems like there's some signs of narcissism. Like
Erica,
you need to,
Erica, yes. That was my first thought.
Everywhere. And I mean, we have to be really, really careful because we've had the Nadia Suleimans, the Octo moms in this country. Anytime the most interesting thing about you is your ability to procreate, which isn't even a qualifiable talent, I have an issue with that, especially if you're on television touting about how you're the father of 114.
Yeah, I think if you're bragging about it in that sense, I agree with you. But I also have a lot of empathy for people, you know, in school who are so broke and they have to sell their sperm.
Or be a waiter.
No, I'm with you.
Maybe they're a waiter too, Al. I don't judge them.
But I mean, how many times do you have to do that to get that many
kids? What if he needs
kids?
another $250 a month, and that's what it equates to, and he donated his sperm regularly?
It's only $250 a month?
I have no idea. I'm just guessing.
As somebody that's met a relative through DNA, look, you also have to think about the fact that they, depending on where these samples went to and who they impregnated, I mean, this 114 half brothers and sisters you have out there. Imagine you met Jordan and you go through and you're like, oh, we're related because some narcissist from Stanford thought he was so great. First of all those guys on The Bachelorette are weird anyway. They're weird dudes. Any dude that would go on that show that thinks he's so perfect, I'm a doctor and I got a six-pack. Any guy's got a six-pack over 35, that's weird.
I agree with you.
That's not what a normal human being
I agree with you.
Those are narcissistic men right now. Those are narcissistic men. They're all narcissists. And the fact that you think that you're so great that you need to give 114 people your seed, that's a real issue with me.
Wow, you just like
they're weird dudes.
Dude, they're not.
Women always think they want those dudes until they meet those guys, and they're like, oh, he's Colton Dustin or whatever his name was.
But they're on there to be famous.
The next thing
they're not on there.
But they're weirdos. I'm just telling every woman, don't look for that. Find like a cool dude. That's not the guy you want.
I agree with the
He's gonna be jumping over your fence.
6-pack over 35. I agree with that.
Weirdos.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay.
Weirdos.
I'm trying to get a six-pack right now, and I'm 40.
Yeah, and it's taking so much time out of your day. Enough.
Jeff hasn't been home in 3 months.
First of all, this is very offensive. I was on reality TV, and I'm trying to get skinny, and I was on reality TV with the six-pack. So this is like very...
No, you're in good company.
I said over 35.
On everybody. Yeah, that's true.
Erica.
That's true.
What you do?
I hate on everybody.
You have a weird obsession with people who take care of their body.
No, I said Zac Efron should stop skipping leg day.
Just own it.
Which he
it's
should.
Okay. It's
that was
okay.
backed up by facts.
I have a weird obsession
and tiny
with
toothpick
natural
legs.
hair.
Al Jackson.
You saw the picture,
First of all,
Sam.
he's under 35, so you should be able to not hate on him because you said men over 35, and he has beautiful legs. It is, and if he had toothpick legs, who cares, Al? Who are you to talk about his legs?
Leg sled.
All right.
Okay. All right, let's get to this next story. Exhale. Ayesha Curry seems to have it all. She's an author of a cookbook, TV host, and has 3 kids with her NBA star husband, Steph Curry. But apparently, she still feels insecure. Earlier this week, she was on Jada Pinkett Smith's show, Red Table Talk. She talked about wanting more attention from men. Let's take a look.
I don't have any of that. Like, I have zero, this sounds weird, but like male attention. And so then, like, I begin to internalize it, and I'm like, is something wrong with me? Because I don't want it, but it'd be nice to know that, like, someone's looking.
And now she's responding. She posted this photo on Instagram throwing away a pair of Spanx. The caption reads in part, quote, "If what I'm not afraid to say out loud about being a 30-year-old mama of 3 helps another woman like me feel like they're not alone and not the only one with an insecurity, then that makes all of this hoopla worth it." Wow. So is what Ayesha said, obviously women can relate to this. What do you make of it?
I generally, things like this, I read between the lines of what's not being said. I really do think that if you're in a loving relationship with someone who fulfills you in a way that you don't need that type of attention, it's not that you don't, let me rephrase that. It's not, you don't need the attention, but if that person is doing what they're supposed to be doing, you likely won't get that type of attention anymore because no one else is going to come or approach you and think that they're going to do better for you. That's the reason why she's not getting that type of attention. It's not because she's not beautiful and intelligent. She's one of the most beautiful and intelligent women and a major role model, but she has a relationship that is known for being loving and committed. That means no one's stepping to her because they can't measure up. I think that's
Do you think women don't DM Steph Curry?
That's different, actually, and it shouldn't be different, but it is. Of course women do, and she talked about that too, the idea that women approach her husband. But with men, it is a very different thing. If a man doesn't think he can do more for you than the man that you're with, they won't step to you, and I think that's the way it should be.
Yeah, but I get what she's saying. I think just speaking from my wife's perspective, and she's fine with me sharing things like this. She, after the baby, she didn't feel like herself. She wanted to lose a couple pounds. She wants to get rid of the baby weight, and it's noticeably different just in her personality that she feels better about herself when she loses a couple pounds. When people do give her looks, she wants those looks when she walks into a restaurant. Not meaning like she's going to go anywhere, but I could see where she's coming from with this.
Yeah, I do too, and I really appreciate your wife's transparency. If you guys need somebody to relate to, follow his wife on Instagram because she bears it all.
And she talks about that too. I wouldn't overstep my bounds.
Yeah, I think everyone can relate, but I think that's a really interesting point, Erica. I didn't even think about that. Chime in, DBL Nation. We do want to hear from you. We have a first look of Renee Zellweger taking on a legendary new role. Stephanie Jones has the details, and they are coming in hot.
Oscar winner Renee Zellweger completely transformed herself for the upcoming biopic Judy, where she portrays iconic actress Judy Garland, and new photos have been released. The side-by-side photos are in the latest issue of People, which hits newsstands this Friday. Renee reportedly spent 2 hours a day in makeup for the film, getting prosthetics, wearing contact lenses and wigs, and she said she gained a huge amount of respect for the Wizard of Oz actress while preparing for the role. You guys can see Renee as Judy in theaters on September the 27th.
Wow, this is going to be a tough one. A lot of people are protective over Judy Garland, and we'll see if Renee Zellweger, a great actress, Academy Award winner, measures up. But I could already see people in this studio shaking their head.
Can I be completely honest, and maybe this will indict me in terms of show prep, but I saw Judy in the prompter, and I was like, oh, they're making a movie about Judge Judy. I was so excited, and I was like, oh, Judy Garland.
Wow.
That's my Judy. I'm sorry, Judge Judy's right here.
Yeah.
I watched her every day.
Yeah, I worked with her for years. You know that. I love her too.
I know.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be all about you. Maybe this is me and Judy's time right now.
I love that you love love her.
Yeah, I do.
love that
That's
you love
the girl.
her. You do. Coming up on DBL, kitchen knives that will transform any home cook into the next Wolfgang Puck. We've got an incredible price in our DBL Deal Blast. And speaking of food, from dirty, grimy menus to germs floating around salad bars and buffets, we've got the biggest restaurant red flags to watch out for.
Our DBL hosts are going head-to-head in Fully Clothed and Afraid. Get in on the action by voting for which team will be the ultimate outdoor survivor at dailyblastlive.com/sweepstakes. And you could walk away with a gift card from Outdoors Geek.
Best feed.
Where were you last night? You can just tell me?
Yeah.
But if you go,
He's talking about
I'm
iconic
talking about
Judge Judy quotes.
Yeah,
She's
and
known for
she,
that.
Like when she questions somebody, and she always says, if you're telling the truth, you don't have to think. And if it's the truth, it's like you can ask the same question the next day or 10 years from now. If it happened, it happened. But if you're like, wait, Sam picked me up, and then Jeff was in the car, like you can, it's very like
and you know
simple.
what it is about? It's simple, and here's the thing about Judge Judy. She's so common sense. Like, just because she's incredibly intelligent and a judge and all those things, throw that out the window. And people call her the human lie detector for a reason. It's just like she can just read people based on common sense. It's unbelievable. And I don't think people give her that credit. They think somehow that they will fool her, and then they overthink it, and in reality, she sees right
Jeff,
through
are you a Judge Show guy?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
but I think that's all people. Like, I watch a lot of those live PD shows and everything,
Oh, yeah.
and everyone thinks they could fool everybody. Like, some of these stories they tell the police are like, so you just came from a birdhouse and the bird was driving the car, and they're like, yeah? It's like, what? What are you talking about? So I love watching those shows, but just the way people lie and think they can get away with it, especially in a court of law, is
especially on a court show. It really is an arbitration, but you have to remember, you got producers on your side. So those litigants that are coming in there think that they're somehow going to convince Judge Judy, who's already read the case, that the producers completely combed through, got both sides of the story, and gave to her. Like, they don't even think about that. Like, do you remember when I interviewed you for 2.5 hours? Do you not think that I then told Judge Judy everything you told me?
Yeah.
So, like, they would say things to me and then go on air.
different?
Completely different.
Are you serious?
Yes, and that's why Judge Judy, yes, she does have
Why
that
am I just hearing this?
That's why she calls them out.
Yeah.
Like, she knows. She gets cards. She knows.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Today's watch and win word is sand.
Ooh. Welcome back to DBL. We all like going out to eat sometimes, right? Well, food experts say we should be aware of the not so obvious germs that lurk in restaurants. Not only is it gross, but it can also be a food safety concern. So let's talk about restaurant red flags. So that way you are prepared next time you dine out. Here we go. This is more prominent at fast casual type restaurants. Employees who handle the money should not also be preparing your food. Let's face it, money is gross. You don't want that transfer to your meal.
I love when they have gloves on and then they take the money with the gloves. I'm like, why are you wearing gloves?
Yeah, I know.
Just my
Where do they do that? Where the cashier is the food person?
Many places. I've seen it many places.
He's Big Chris at Subway.
Oh.
Subway, they do have the...
But then they take them off, right? Then they handle the money.
Just make sure. So
Well,
if you're there,
that's a good tip.
If you're there, make sure those gloves are taken off and then put back on.
All right. Let's run away and got a new pair. Let's go crazy.
Yeah, get a new pair.
Yeah,
Get a new pair. Yeah. While you're at a restaurant, check to see if the bussers are cleaning up tables with clean dish towels. If that so-called soapy water is dirty, foodborne illnesses can thrive, and that's getting pushed around the table you could be eating at. Let me tell you, I was a busser from like age 15 to 18, and those rags are dirty.
That was my first job.
Those rags are dirty. We try. We try,
You're
but
not gonna go get a fresh towel.
You're not.
Yeah, it's just not happening.
It's
You're
not
the Four
happening.
Seasons, buddy.
Yeah, that's why for kids out there, make sure, because at least as adults, we can eat off a plate, but a lot of times you see little toddlers, we do it with Sophie, she eats right off the table. That's why we clean the table ourselves before she eats off the table, because as a former bus girl, yeah.
I've seen my fair share myself.
Yep.
Yes.
Let's say you notice a fingerprint smudge on the ketchup bottle at your table. That should be a huge red flag that servers aren't cleaning the condiments. And who knows how many filthy hands have touched that. I don't think I ever cleaned a condiment as a server. Did you?
The worst thing ever is like marrying the ketchups and stuff. Like when you're getting cut from your shift, you're like, can I get cut? And you're like, yeah, you have to marry all the ketchups. And you're like, what?
Which means fill them up. Which means fill them up. And
yeah.
it gets all over your clothes. You smell like ketchup. No one's cleaning the ketchup bottles.
I'm not clean. I'm definitely not cleaning those. I'm out of there.
Me too.
I do like 2 bottles. I'm like, done.
Yeah, I mean, like $40 in tips that day, and I got stiffed. Get me out of here.
Yeah.
Restaurants should always be following your food allergy requests, since some cases of food allergies can be deadly. If a restaurant doesn't take this seriously, experts say walk out. This is very important. I don't think anybody can mess around with this.
Right. I mean, well, we did a story on that a couple weeks ago, where even if they're trying to do it, sometimes the gluten-free stuff is
celiac disease.
It's cooked on something where flour just was, and it could be really bad. I mean, that's why you have to go to a place that. And Jeff and I, full disclosure, we did the shoot at a restaurant yesterday, and they take what they do very seriously.
Yeah.
And for as much as you might say, I don't want to do that kind of research, I'll just run a chain restaurant. Like, you need to make sure, especially when it's your health, go to a place that cares. You'll be able to tell as soon as you walk in, like we did yesterday.
Absolutely.
You won't get sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this might be obvious, but menus. They're crawling with germs, people. So carry hand sanitizer with you. It's an easy way to wash up before you eat.
If I get a dirty menu, I will walk out.
Really?
Yeah, because one of my first restaurant jobs was a hostess, and the big part of it was in between seating people was I would take the menus,
wipe menus down.
Make sure that they were clean, and I would wipe them down.
Or
and
you have to change them out, right?
Well, they were they had the plastic laminate, so I would just spray them and wipe them down. So to me, if the menus are dirty, then that's showing they are either understaffed or it's not a priority to serve. And that's one of the first things that you get in a restaurant. No, I'm gone.
Erica, you know what mine is dirty mop water. Like sometimes you can tell that they mop with dirty mop water. Like if you worked in restaurants, you're like, I know what that smell is.
How about like in LA? I don't know if you guys know, but LA has like letter A, B, C, D. Like if you get a C, you don't want to eat there. Right. But like you ever go to your favorite restaurant and then you see they have a B and you're like,
oh yeah,
what?
Oh yeah, and you're like, darn, and then you contemplate.
And then I'm like, I'm still going in.
I'll eat it a B. I'm not too good for
I'm still going in. My favorite place was a B. I love it.
Mine too. Coming up on DBL, whitening your teeth just got easier with this home whitening system. How fun! Show off those pearly whites in our DBL Deal Blast.
DBL Nation, it's Lex, and I'm here with the DBL Digital team, giving you guys more top trending stories during the breaks here at Daily Blast Live. I just had lunch, guys, and I came from running across the room, and I just feel like every time I do these digital breaks, it's just like a reminder that I have to get it together. You want to come in and do this with me? We're talking about Mother's Day.
My mother's upset with me.
Oh, okay.
You better make it up to her right now.
Well, you can make it up to her with some of these cool Mother's Day deals.
What do we have?
I'm gonna stand up so that we can both be in the same frame together. So, as you guys know, May 12th is Mother's Day, and if you didn't know, you're welcome.
Now you know.
So, if you are interested in Baskin Robbins, you can save $3 on ice cream cakes if you're getting it for your mother.
She likes moon pies.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Those are delicious.
Yum.
And then you can also save $5 off of Boston Market. And this is a fun one, and I wonder if you would do this. Mothers get a free entree at Hooters on Mother's Day.
I would definitely take my mother to Hooters. She's a wing gal. She loves wings, but she doesn't.
And I've heard they're really good.
She doesn't like the wings here in Colorado, though. She lives in Atlanta, so that's like the wing capital of the world.
I had wings yesterday watching the Avs game.
Not too
Sorry,
good, right?
guys, not good.
Yeah, the
not
wings
good.
out here are not
You gotta go to the Fire on the Mountain.
Everyone
Fire in the
keeps saying
Mountain?
that place.
Fire
Everyone
on the
keeps
Mountain
saying,
is where
all right,
it's at.
but if
Well,
I'm disappointed.
We're gonna do a wing challenge here, maybe. But DBL Nation, write us in. Let us know what you guys have planned for Mother's Day. Hi, Mom, if you're watching. I'm not coming home and surprising you like you wish I would be right now. But we're gonna plan a trip super soon, and maybe I'll send you a Baskin-Robbins ice cream cake.
Well, now you gotta do it.
And also write us in and let us know if you would bring your mom for a free entree at Hooters. Like, I really want to know what you guys think. Bye now.
It's Deal Blast time! Yes! That's right, clap it up, clap it up. We've teamed up with MorningSave.com to bring you the lowest prices on the hottest products. Here to help us out is lifestyle expert, my girl, Miss Denise Plants.
I love coming here to Daily Blast Live. You guys are awesome. Do you know that?
We do.
Yes.
But you know, it takes awesome to know awesome, so here you go. Mhm, that's right. I'm here all day. Setting up the patio for summer is a must, and if you want to add some fun to your outdoor setup, Denise has got you covered.
When this came to my house, I was so excited. I had to order it. The 2-pack GABA Goods Bluetooth LED flame speakers. Backyard ambience all in one, lighting and music, and it's perfect for cookouts, outdoor parties, fire pits, maybe just relaxing at the end of the day. Water resistant, built-in rechargeable battery, and music plays up to 5 hours. The LED flame lights last up to 8 hours.
I gotta tell you, they're not only functional, they're also pretty dope. I mean, this is really
cute,
sleek,
right?
very hot, but is the price too hot to handle?
No. Normally this will run you as much as $160, but now for a 2-pack, just $49, savings up to 69% off.
49 bucks.
Yes.
There's gonna be a party in the garden. So according to Harper's Bazaar, sleek hair is back on trend. But if you have thinner hair prone to damage, you'll love this next product to get your polished look.
Yes, let me introduce you to the Pro Cabello Luxury 5500 Soft Touch Brush Straightener. All in one. Available in pink, purple, black, and even white. It emits negative ions that have a triple action system. Detangle, straighten, and increase natural hair shine. It reduces frizziness and increases hair manageability. It heats up to 450 Fahrenheit and has an auto switch off after 1 hour, so it's safe.
We'll have to give you a little pro tip from a curly girl, Denise. This also elongates your curls.
Does
so
it
yeah, it's for the curly
really?
girl too. Yeah, I'm getting one of these, but first I have to know how much it costs.
Normally as much as $150, but do I have a deal for you? For Deal Blast, $20, savings up to 87% off.
If it's $20, I'll take 2. How about that? You liked that pro tip, didn't you? Okay, well, a good smile in any situation can make all the difference. So it's important to keep those pearly whites actually white. Denise, help us out.
This is going to save you so much money. Forget going to the dentist for whiter teeth. The Pro Noir LED Teeth Whitening Kit. Meet Pro Noir's revolutionary LED teeth whitening kit, specifically designed for you to whiten your teeth yourself at home with spectacular results. It's formulated to hydrate teeth and prevent discomfort during treatments. It includes 4 gel syringes, 2 mouth trays, mini LED lamp, and a user's guide.
I could use a TV Smile. How much is this TV Smile gonna cost me?
Normally as much as $200, but today, $29 has savings up to 86% off.
$29 for teeth whitening. I am so there because between coffee and red wine.
Oh my gosh.
You know the deal.
White wine can stain your teeth too, just saying.
Well, I'm definitely getting 2. Well, every great chef has a favorite knife, and if you want knives that last at a great price, we've got you covered.
The Cuisinart 6-piece classic German steel knife set with blade covers. Now this includes the 8-inch chef knife, the 8-inch slicing knife, the 8-inch bread knife, plus you get a 6-inch Sentoku knife and a 6-inch serrated utility knife, plus a 3.5-inch paring knife. Cuisinart's classic impression 6-piece knife set is comprised of efficiently sharp and durable essential kitchen cutlery for tackling everyday food preparation tasks.
They are very nice, and you get a whole set. Let's chop up the price real quick. How much is this going to cost us?
Normally it's going to run you as high as $126, but today you get the 6-piece set for $35, savings up to 72% off.
$35?
Yes.
Have Fun shopping! Now head over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing products at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. Thank you so much, Miss Denise.
Of course.
It's always a pleasure. Let's chop it up. We'll be right back.
We are live. It is your commercial break with Brandon London here. B-Lun on the track. Let's get to these fifth host comments. So, fifth host, you all are our fifth host, and we love it when you write in. So, to make sure we get to as many of you as possible, they have sent moi. Jesse Miller says, legal weed, legal shrooms. Now maybe work on reasonable housing. Hey, I like what you're talking about there, Jesse. Alan Zinda says, I'm sure there's no negative side effects using hallucinogens. Nothing permanent could ever happen to your brain. This is fine. I would love to see some sort of study with that. I would love to see what scientists and researchers have when it comes to that. But, I mean, throwing someone in jail using our taxpayers' money for someone who's just on mushrooms, I'm not okay with people taking the mushrooms, but I don't know. I don't know enough about the drug. I've never done the drug before in my life. Patrick Vidic says, I know where I'm moving next. Patrick likes to have a good time. Mary Jasso says, I was hoping someone would mention to argue that mushrooms could possibly help veterans with PTSD. I would love to, you know what, I've heard that a couple times today. I want to go read up on that study, because if it is something that can help with the PTSD, if it is something that can help with mental illness, I'm all about it, because we don't know what that exact cure is for these things. Ann Murphy says, studies are showing mushrooms can help depression. I definitely want to read that study or those studies, because it seems like nowadays when there's one study or there's one poll that's saying one thing, there's another study or another poll that always says the opposite. But I would love to check that up. Joe Bob says, next up, medical cocaine. Well, they used to put cocaine in Coca-Cola. Remember that. Asar Vasquez says, sick. Now rent is going to be more expensive. Why? Because of shrooms? Or because people are going to be moving here because of shrooms? Kevin Kavanaugh says, dumbing down society. Every drug addict in the world would be looking to move to Denver. Please, I hope not. Castro Morgan says, first marijuana and now shrooms. What's next? Meth? We all need to be drug-free to be productive people of this country, unless it's for a medical condition. You can, look, you can take marijuana and still be productive. So I've heard. Richard Allegra says they should be voting on gun issues, not mushrooms. In fact, I think that's definitely a fact, but they did just pass the red flag legislation here in Denver, which was, I believe, signed last month, where you can remove the guns from someone who's been deemed unfit medically or through mental illness. So, they are voting on gun laws and legislation here. Last one, Tom Harrell says, weed okay, shrooms, question mark. That may be a stretch. It's like LSD right off the shelf, much stronger than other recreationals, and I know this is not for everyone. Thank you all for writing in. We got the end of the show coming up next.
Stand by, quiet on set.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. Erica.
Heather Tay says, fathering over 100 children, one day those children will want to see who their real father is. Is he ready to see all those children? Thomas McGee says, I agree with Al. I don't know, just in general. Rod Woo 17 says, I'm over 35. I don't have a six-pack, but I'd like to.
That's funny.
And Thomas McGee says, I agree with Al about the Bachelor contestants being weird, but not about the six-pack. That makes you a hater, Al.
Going back to the donations, though, I'm just curious, because 114 does sound insane. How many kids could come from one visit?
I think there's thousands,
you know what I mean?
hundreds of thousands.
So what if he just, come on, you guys, what if he went once or twice to get some extra cash in college?
I think each one has to be harvested
separately? If it's 114 times that he visited this sperm bank, fine. But what if he visited once?
once and 114 kids.
He's got some
and
good
maybe
sperm,
he does
Erica.
have a qualifiable skill, but that ain't it.
I agree with
There's a
Erica.
movie about that.
There is?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, there is, everyone's saying. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye, guys.
We'll never know.
Hi, it's Kelly Schubert here, the DBL digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending stories, but what I'm here to talk to you about right now is the 10-day challenge is over. Get excited. Let's go talk to Big Jeff about how it went. Big Jeff,
yo,
how you feeling now that the 10-day challenge is over? Are you feeling good?
Yeah, I kept
sugar?
it going. No, I worked out this morning and I didn't eat
and
sugar yesterday.
Are you ever going to eat sugar again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just figured, like, why not? You know what I mean?
Are you going to have a key lime pie this weekend?
Well, maybe.
Yeah?
Well, Friday, tomorrow we find out who won.
I know.
So I'll get a free key lime pie if
I tried to talk our head producer Megan into telling me, and I told her I'd keep a secret.
You're not good at secrets.
She wouldn't tell me.
Oh, when do we find out who won?
Tomorrow.
What do they get?
Just a treat, whatever your
Like
favorite
what? What kind of a treat?
Oh, but the DBL Nation viewer gets the huge
1,500
prize pack, which is
1,500 prize pack.
awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool. So make sure you sign up for that.
Wait a second. I did all the work.
They
So
did
is the
too.
DBL Nation.
They did too.
And I lost the weight. I'm not saying I'm going to win,
That
but
is
I get
your
a piece
bonus.
of key lime pie and you get a $1,500 prize pack?
Yeah.
Seems
You can
like a
have
pretty
the
good
whole
deal.
pie if you really want.
But they have to bet on their winner, right?
What do you mean?
How do they win the prize pack?
Well, it's going to be picked randomly out of whoever hit the 4 points every day.
Even if they're like, I win and they're cheering for Al, they get the prize pack?
Yeah.
Wow,
I think
that's
so.
an even better deal.
I think so, yeah.
That's a one lucky customer out there.
Yeah, Al, how are you feeling now that the 10-day challenge is over?
I feel great. I feel like
Al's become addicted to frozen yogurt.
but that was my
Sugar-free
treat.
frozen
Yeah, no, that's a good thing.
That was my treat.
It just
but
goes to show that's your treat instead of having like a piece of
Yeah,
cake.
delivery
Yeah.
That's my
Delivery man.
Bye.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, May 9th. We are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. I'm here with Erica, Jeff, Al, and I'm Sam. Erica, we missed you. Welcome back.
Missed you guys too. Thank you.
Let's get started. You got to see this picture. First of all, when you look at these images, it almost looks like we're watching a scene from a movie. But a mass gun bust in an exclusive neighborhood in Los Angeles, that's what you're looking at. Police and federal agents responded to an anonymous tip and seized more than 1,000 firearms from a house near the Playboy Mansion. It is reportedly owned by a woman named Cynthia Beck, who has 3 daughters with the son of J. Paul Getty. That's according to the LA Times. The LAPD released these photos saying a suspect was arrested on suspicion of possession, selling and manufacturing assault weapons. In addition to the guns, thousands of rounds of ammo were also found in the home. And just to paint a picture for our viewers, because we've all lived in Los Angeles, just the street alone, maybe a mile long, if that. You've got the Spelling Mansion worth $100 million. You got this mansion, $7 million, the Playboy Mansion. And then this is happening. So you don't know who's living next door.
Right. Well, obviously, someone who makes a lot of money. And guess what makes a lot of money? Guns. But guess who doesn't want anyone else to make money on that? The government. Kind of seems weird to me. You know what I mean? But there's money in that, and the the government controls all of that.
Sounds like the pharmaceutical drug industry as well.
I mean, it's a business that's never going to go away. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's right. I mean, you need to get these guns off the street. It was a great seize by the LAPD.
Yeah.
But, it's a business that's not going away, and we need to perhaps maybe look into that.
I think people would be shocked to think how many affluent neighborhoods there's some pretty shady things happening, and the reason why is because you can hide in open sight.
In plain sight.
Plain sight.
Right.
You can hide in sight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're thinking about it, follow the money. That's where the money is. In the neighborhoods or high rises I've lived in, I have seen complete drug-like confiscation. Why can't I speak?
Me rubbing off on you.
21 pipe bombs, like all sorts of things have happened. So I think you just have to be aware of who you're living next to.
Well, yeah, and this was an anonymous tip, Al, and this happened at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. next door, $7 million mansion getting raided by the LAPD.
I mean, you look at, when you talk about illegal activity, look at the shows and things that got popular. Look at Breaking Bad. No one can believe this older, middle-aged white chemistry teacher is a drug dealer. Look at the Clint Eastwood movie, The Mule. No one can believe this old white guy's driving around bricks of cocaine. Look at that show on Showtime, Weeds. Oh, this old woman, the other one that my buddy Tone Bell was in with Misery Woman. What's her name?
Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates. You know, it's people can't believe that people that look a certain way do a certain thing, and that's why people watch it. If Breaking Bad was about 2 black teenagers, people are like, "What's this about?"
It's true.
But you know, since he's white and his kid's in a wheelchair, it's okay to sell meth to the community and destroy it.
Yeah, wow, all great points. Chime in, DBL Nation. A vigil held for the school shooting here in Colorado erupted into a protest last night. Students and parents spontaneously walked out after the conversation became political, chanting mental health. The event was originally described as an interfaith memorial vigil. Meantime, we are learning more about what went on inside the classroom with one of the suspected gunmen who is accused of killing 18-year-old Kendrick Castillo. Here's how his fellow classmate described the scene.
What I saw yesterday was the absolute best of people. I got to see two heroes, 2 regular high school kids, 2 really awesome people jump into action without any hesitation, and I was more than lucky to join them in doing that action. Someone entered the building with incredibly malicious intent, using their cowardice, surprise, and superior weapons, and they lost. They completely and utterly lost to good people.
Wow. We are also hearing from Kendrick Castillo's family about their son's death. Take a look.
To see all of his friends alive and him offer up his life, I know that's what he would do. Our son paid the price and others are able to go home. Okay. Thank God for that.
Wow. Yeah, his only child. And if you're wondering how you can help, the local sheriff's office posted this to Facebook saying that there is an account set up with Wells Fargo Bank called the Kendrick Castillo Memorial Fund. And there is another video that is going viral right now from this school shooting. A 6th grader, 11, 12 years old, from the school was interviewed by
11.
CNN. Yeah, just listen to what he says.
I was hiding in the corner and they were right outside the door. I had my hand on the metal baseball bat, just in case, because I was going to go down fighting if I was going to go down.
Wow. Wow.
Cool.
We're seeing the narrative shift.
You know
We're seeing
what?
the narrative what?
No, I'm just saying, like, people should be proud of themselves in Congress, and, you know, when they see that video,
Right.
that a 6th grader is going to take up a baseball bat against a gun that you want to sit back and do nothing about. That's where the answers are coming from. That's where we're at. We're throwing everything against the wall and see what will stick. And it's a 6th grader with a bat armed with somebody with a gun. I'm not saying it's an assault rifle. I'm not getting into this whole gun debate. It's that we're not even having a conversation. It's ridiculous.
That's what I'm talking about. Now the narrative has changed, not to, oh, wow, look at these measures that we're taking. The narrative has changed to, look at this new trend. It's the students who are then forced, very heroically, but forced out of the means of survival to take down the gunmen. That's how the narrative has changed. Is that the narrative we want?
Our Congress doesn't care. Like, you guys do know that. Like, when you look at Mitch McConnell, do you think he cares?
It doesn't seem like it, Al.
It doesn't.
And it sounds like, I know you're being facetious.
No, I'm not, Jeff. When they get in their car service and they go to wherever they go and they have their meetings and they adjourn for the summer, do you really think they care? We elect Congress people that openly lie, they slander each other. We go through the same song and dance. We say we pick the best of 2 evils, and this is what we get. As late great George Carlin said, garbage in, garbage out. This is us. Our Congress is a reflection of us. Why don't we have more compassion in Congress? Because we don't have any women in there because you guys are too emotional.
Well,
so
we do now.
This is what we have. This is what we want. We wanted to have steel, mean, soul-dead congressmen up in Congress doing nothing, arguing. You call me a liberal jerk, and I'll call you the gun-toting whatever, and we'll just do this, and we'll hope that the 6th graders can defend themselves.
The good news is
Where's the good news?
The good news is, Al, is that we can vote them out. The
But
good
we
news,
won't, Sam.
but you know what, Al? Now more than ever, I think parents are sick and tired of this, and we've seen this country can overcome horrific atrocities. Now more than ever, follow the money. Do your due diligence as a voter and check and see who you're voting on, whether it's your mayor, whether it's your local councilwoman or man, whether it's the president of the United States, and see who is funding them. See if they voted on mandated family leave. See if they have the NRA in their back pocket. Start doing your own research, and we have the power to vote them out. Erica, please.
I hope that we have time for Kendrick Castillo.
Yeah.
Because during his visual, it became political. So
I know.
And when we were talking about him, last week it was Riley, which I can't honestly, I can't remember Riley's last name. I wish I could remember Riley's last name. These heroes are coming and going.
Coming and going.
Too fast.
I know.
This kid didn't even get his moment when he was supposed to get his moment.
I know.
And that moment was only going to be for a blip until we had the next kid who's going to get their moment.
I know.
They don't even get their moment anymore.
Do you know how ashamed I am? Because last hour we did the exact same story and I couldn't even remember Riley's name. That's why I didn't mention him. That's how embarrassed I am. You know what I mean? Not even that it blows out of my mind so quickly because we're doing these stories all the time.
We're paid to do this, Jeff. We're paid to do this.
And I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed.
If somebody, you know,
I need to do more as a person. You know what I mean? I need to do more.
Yeah, and look, Erica's right. We get so caught up because we want it to stop, but Kendrick Castillo, who's supposed to graduate tomorrow, is not graduating. Kendrick Castillo, who loved fishing, who wanted to be a mechanical and chemical engineer, will no longer be able to fulfill those dreams because he lost his life to gun violence. His father and his father, how many more fathers are we going to have to listen to mourn their children? Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Can I end on a good note here, Sam? I'm very proud of our show that we're showing pictures of Kendrick right there and that we did show pictures of Riley. We are supporting these heroes. I'm proud of our show that we do not show the names of these sick people. I have to watch my mouth right now, but we don't show their names. And I think it's going to be a trend on every TV show that no one is going to get named anymore because that's exactly what these people are looking for is the fame, for their 1 second of fame that they get on the news show. And I'm glad we do not give them any of that on this show. And I'm very proud of our show for that.
Too. Amen. Chime in, DBL Nation. We really do appreciate your thoughts, especially when we can all relate to this. We'll be right back.
Hi guys, Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital Team. Hard day here talking again about Kendrick Castillo. Riley Howell is his name from last week. Yeah, it's really sad. It's sad we're having to talk about this again. Sad that we don't have any solutions. We can vote them out, but that's going to take a long time. Like it's hard because we don't have any answers. Guys, you want to talk a little bit more about this? Yeah, let's go to the desk. Hey guys, how's it going? We can talk about something else if you guys want to.
No, I want to talk about that.
Riley Howell is his name.
Riley Howell, and I apologize for not knowing that because I got so emotional about it last week, and now it completely goes out of my mind because we're talking about someone else. And you know what else I want to apologize for? Well, not apologize for, but me and my wife were talking when this happened, and we went back home, and we do have these conversations. So my work does affect my life. These shootings do affect my life, so I take it very personally. And I do want to step up as a citizen, as a person in Denver, to do something more. I don't know what it is I'm going to do yet, but I am going to do something. I don't know what it is, but I have to do something. I have to, just for my children, I have to do something because no one else is. Government isn't, and talking about it, giving it lip service doesn't do anything. But I want to step up, maybe get involved a little bit more than I am right now. But going back to the point that I was making, we were saying, my wife goes, only one person died. That's a good thing. Now I just saw the one person's father, who that was. You know what I mean? It makes
that's
me.
the thing. It's not just one person.
It's not one person. It doesn't matter if it's one or
a
100. It's a family.
That dad is planning a funeral the day that this kid was supposed to graduate from high school. He's planning a funeral right now. It's like
the weekend before, they were probably at Cheesecake Factory planning his graduation party.
The ripple effect from all of this is so vast that we thought, oh, 6 kids or 2 kids or 1 kid and 4 injured. This is everybody. They are forever traumatized. The relationships they will have, the PTSD they will have. I always think about when Erica said she went to a play or something and there was a fake gunshot and she spilled red wine on herself because
I was with her. Was it the one that we just went to?
That stuff stays with you. This isn't like
scared me.
You know, this isn't Men in Black where you just do the wand. I mean, this stays with you and stays with your kids forever.
How do you think the students feel at that school? All the ones that had to be marched out, thinking that or even hiding, thinking that they were about to be shot.
Or hearing.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host. When we talk about what you're talking about, voters right here in Denver narrowly approved the decriminalization of psychedelic mushrooms. That doesn't mean mushrooms are legal. It just means adults over 21 will no longer be arrested. Experts say this could support people with PTSD, depression, and nicotine addiction. But opponents say mushrooms won't be used responsibly. So DBL Nation, should magic mushrooms be decriminalized?
All right, let's get right to it. Amber from Facebook says, I have a friend who tripped on mushrooms when she was 14, and she's been in and out of therapist's office ever since. Don't mess with drugs. Amber, I would agree that doing drugs at 14, any kind of drug, and I hope you're assuming you're including alcohol in that, is bad. I don't think anybody here would argue for underage people using any kind of narcotics, but we're talking about people over the age of 18 that are making 20. Excuse me. So, so they're making an adult decision, and Amber, we have to live with people's adult decisions. People do decide what they're going to do. So what we're really talking about is, are we going to put them in jail? And my thing is, I don't think we need psychedelic users in jail. I think we need to save that space for criminals like the ones that we were just talking about last hour.
Julie from Facebook says, I voted yes, and I'm glad it passed for people with hard-to-treat major depressive disorder and PTSD. Julie, you know, it's interesting because years ago when we legalized marijuana in Colorado, it was about that margin, 51-49. And honestly, I think, in my opinion, it was for the best. Before that, it was decriminalized, which just basically means that you're not going to suffer any consequences should you get caught. I didn't know that this was a drug that was used for PTSD, and coming from a situation where, or not personal situation, but a situation as a society where we overprescribe pharmaceutical drugs, I think anything that's going to help for people with PTSD should be looked at and decriminalized.
And Jen from Facebook says, why are we legalizing drugs that'll put our children in danger of addiction? Jen, I think I'm just learning this with you. I don't know how addicting mushrooms are, but I think my problem is medical versus recreational. If they are helping with certain diseases or certain mental problems, then I'm for it. But I just don't want people coming to Denver or anywhere and just shrooming and then just living their life with no penalty. I'm against that in that aspect, but yeah, that's all. It's just a balance for me. It's a balance.
Yeah, hey, we're all learning as we go, and I think that's important. But I have to agree with you guys. I'm just sick of locking people up.
It is so strange that, I know we're out of time. I'll talk about it during the break. But all the drugs that are illegal are now being used. Ketamine, mushrooms, and marijuana, CBD, they're all being used. Think about how many people are in jail for those.
But is it a masking effect or a curing effect? We'll talk about it in the break. Okay.
Yeah, we'll discuss. I wish we had a doctor on the phone.
Yeah.
That would help. Coming up on DBL, restaurant red flags. We are counting down the germiest, nastiest ways you can get sick at restaurants. But first, drama is the name of the game in reality television. And we've got the clips you're talking about in Reality Roundup.
I'm not talking about your dad, Jack. I'm not talking about the son.
So yeah, right before we ended that segment, so I don't know a lot of the effects of mushrooms. I've never done mushrooms. I've seen people on mushrooms and they do not, they're on mushrooms. But I was wondering, so if it's for PTSD, does it take away like permanently that post-traumatic stress, or does it mask it kind of like alcohol?
We'll talk about this in another break because I don't want to talk out of my you-know-what.
Right.
But I believe that it helps you rewire your brain. It also helps with any kind of addictive things like nicotine addiction. It kind of helps you almost, it almost like resets your mind, because a lot of times with PTSD, what people try and do is that's why we had a huge generation of alcoholics after World War II. All those guys came back. They used to call it shell shock back then.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's just the new
and those guys all try to drink themselves. They try to drink, but alcohol just makes you more upset. Though, usually with mushrooms and with marijuana and even with Special K, it acts as because Special K, which is called ketamine, is a sedative, and so it helps you calm down and get those memories out and get them out in a way that you can work with them, in a way that a doctor can work with them and work those memories, rather than you just sitting in the garage like a lot of our grandfathers did and drink themselves to death.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. I listen to Joe Rogan's podcast. I'm a huge fan, and he even does it on social media. He was really for Denver legalizing mushrooms, and he says that the effects were so so great. You know, I know we got to wrap, but it was interesting to hear his perspective because I never even thought about it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back to DBL. It's the part of the show where we obsess over our favorite reality TV moments. That's right. It is time for Reality Roundup. We even got Jeff Schroeder joining us. You may not know, but he is a huge Vanderpump Rules fan. Him and I.
Guilty pleasure.
Yeah, we geek out to it every week. We call it Vandy.
Vandy's Monday night. So sad. It's almost over.
I know. Speaking of it almost being over, it is the first episode of a 3-part reunion with Andy Cohen. And with the entire cast all in one room, you can imagine things got, well, pretty heated. Take a look.
Come on.
Why are you allowing? He's belittling her as she's talking.
Because
you are belittling Raquel.
You guys are belittle Raquel. He just said she just called herself a beauty queen. That's all he said.
Okay, go on.
Thank you. I can see why you might think that as a beauty queen, I would want to be on the show.
Well, yeah, and it even got even more heated. Them calling her dumb, and then her defending herself, and them continuing to say that she was dumb. It was very uncomfortable.
The dress was uncomfortable for me. Coming out in that dress, and you don't want people to get on you. Well, that was a bad choice.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I just love this nonsense drama. We deal with a lot of important things on this show a lot, and I like just going home to nonsense like that. It releases me.
I don't follow Vanderpump Rules all that much, but
Erica,
I do get
you
one or
should.
two episodes, or three, the reunion generally, but it's always interesting to me because I see it and I'm like, oh, that's the face formerly known as server number 4. What is happening with these transformations?
I know.
Their faces don't even look the same.
Some of them have definitely used a little bit too much plumping and other things as well.
And they're young.
That's true. It's true. Next on Mama June from Not to Hot, June gets some tough love from her sister about what may be a toxic relationship.
And I don't know what the future holds between me and him. I really don't. Well, then kick him out and find out.
June has I'm sorry, I know Erica with the eye roll. Like, it's more than that because we all know that Mama June has had horrific relationships with child molesters.
Yes. Yeah, she's put her children in danger. I don't understand why this woman gets a show. I don't get it at all. Like, I'm not supporting this.
Agreed. Good.
I'm on the same page. I was like, how do you still have a show?
Yeah.
What's going, who's watching
Because
this
you
show?
had a physical transformation from not to hot.
You know, it's funny. I'm like, who's watching this show? And I just said, I love Vanderpump
That's
Rules.
different. You have no convicted, convicted pedophiles on that show. All right, and finally, on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the ladies go camping. Yes, you heard that right. The ladies borrow an RV. They hit the road. Take a look.
Why wouldn't you say that to me, Camille, in the moment when we're all sitting there? What I've noticed about you is you like to talk out of the side of your mouth, but the second you're with somebody to their face, you back down, and you have a whole new story to play.
My face is right here.
Teddy almost baby doll melon camp. She has come out of her shell. She was like, I am a millennial. Hear me roar. She has things to say. But Camille needs to be careful because Camille is revisiting season 1, Camille Beverly Hills. And
That's
you remember,
not good.
she was the villain. She has something to say about everybody. And as soon as Teddy's right, as soon as she's right in front of them, she gets real closed lips. Girl, just say it. You feel that way, say it.
Yeah, season 1 Camille was a disaster. She was stirring the pot. She definitely seemed medicated, and I say that respectfully, but she seemed medicated the entire first season. And yeah, she's not the Camille that we started to love in season 2 and 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not feeling you, Camille, at all. I'm on Team Teddy. What are you on?
Get it together, girl.
I gotta go with Teddy.
Yeah,
but I'm always really just Team Erica Jane.
I know.
Whether she's in it or
Girl, we all love Erica Jane.
Yeah.
Please. All right, that was Reality Roundup. Did you enjoy it?
I love it. I love me some good reality TV.
Speaking of reality TV, a contestant on The Bachelorette has a very interesting side gig, and it involves fathering more than 100 kids. But first, we'll show you how a special swing set is making all the difference in a young man's life. Heart Threads is next.
Oh, hi there. Hey. Hi, DBL Nation. It's me, Stephanie. I thought I'd read out some of the old comments that we've had on the fifth host. How about that then? So our fifth host today is, do we think mushrooms should be legalized? It's just passed a bill here in Colorado that whilst they're not fully legal, you're not going to get arrested if you're in possession of mushrooms or if you're, I guess, seen using mushrooms. So we've had loads of comments, so I thought I'd read a few out for you guys. So let's have a little look. Jesse Miller on Facebook says, legal weed, legal shrooms. Now maybe work on reasonable housing. I mean, I agree. That's the thing, right? When Denver became legal for weed, apparently it was before I was here, but apparently the housing prices like rocketed, and a lot of people from different states moved to Denver for that very purpose. So could that happen again with mushrooms? I mean, potentially yes. Which I think is obviously, as a resident living here, it's not great for me or other people moving in. But Colorado at the moment is a very big booming economy and it's doing very well. But if house pricing went up even higher, I think it would definitely be a problem. Alan Zinder on Facebook said, I'm sure there's no negative side effects of using a hallucinogen. Woof, that's a mouthful. Nothing permanent could ever happen to your brain and it is fine. Well, Alan, yes, mushrooms are known for their psychedelic effects, so you can see and hear things that aren't maybe real. So I think whilst there is no evidence of long-term brain damage, that is fine and that's one thing. But I do think it really matters on your mental state at the time in which you take a drug like that, because if you are feeling depressed or down or having negative thoughts or feeling anxious, that can definitely be amplified, and the effects last from 6 to 8 hours, which I think is very dangerous. But however, there are also studies that show if you're feeling happy and everything's great, you can feel very euphoric and it can be a great thing. So I think it just needs to obviously be taken in moderation, maybe with the help of a doctor. But also I was talking to Sam, one of our co-hosts, and she was saying that if you have tiny little drops of magic mushrooms and you suffer from PTSD or you have depression, it can help, but obviously that's with the help of a doctor. So I mean, obviously everything in moderation, and it depends how much you take it, how often you take it, so we have to make sure that we're sensible here. Patrick Vidic says, I know where I'm moving next. Well, I'm sure you're not the only person saying that. We definitely saw that with the legalization of weed here in Colorado. So I think they said it's like 10,000 people a month are moving here from different states and places around the world. So it's really going up a lot here in Denver.
Today's Watch and Win word is sand.
Welcome back to DBL. Now today's Heart Threads is about helping others. Our own Erica Cobb shows us a custom-made swing that made all the difference for a young man with autism.
This gentle giant got a specially made swing from a kind stranger. Kobe is 23, stands almost 7 feet tall, and weighs more than 200 pounds. Although he graduated high school, he doesn't have a job because he has autism and is nonverbal. But Kobe finds joy on his custom-made swing.
I mean, he's out here 5-10 times a day at night, in the morning, rain or shine, and as soon as he gets off of it, there's an immediate, calm.
Kobe had long outgrown his old swing.
He started getting whelps on the sides of his legs, on both sides of his thighs. He would actually be bleeding through his blue jeans.
So Kobe's mom reached out to everyone she could for help. She was turned away many times until she came to Alan Ellison. Alan came with an engineer and put together a swing just for Kobe.
His size and his love for swinging and how it helps him, mentally and physically, and we just got excited about an opportunity to give back to someone.
Just amazing. Restored my faith, let's put it that way.
We have so much more love and commonality amongst one another than we realize, you know? And I know on days like this when we're reporting on the school shootings and they seem so frequent, and they are, we have to remember that we can create change.
Right. That's why I love Heart to Reds, because that goes on just as much. So let's remember the positive. I have to remind myself of that. So.
Amen. Amen. Here's what's coming up next.
A Bachelorette contestant calls his side hustle an interesting icebreaker. Here's a hint. He's fathered more than 100 children. And hold the germs. The top restaurant red flags that might make you think twice before eating out. When DBL comes back.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Double Jump. I'm Chris, this is Leo. We got another movie review for you guys today. We're talking about Pokemon Detective Pikachu. So Leo, what are your thoughts?
Oh man, I just want to dive right into the Pokemon first. They looked so real. They were believable. The CGI matched the environment incredibly well, and every single Pokemon looked like their gaming counterparts. You know, we saw a lot of Pokemon from Pikachu to Bulbasaur, very recognizable Pokemon, and even some of the newer ones, and they were done so well. Like if I had ever imagined Pokemon coming to life, this would be it, man.
Yeah, the animation made the Generation 2 and 3 Pokemon like the newer ones, because we're old, so we're like from the beginning. But the newer ones that the kids like now, they actually look pretty likable.
I know, man.
Very well animated.
Like the Greninjas at a certain part they're like from much further down.
Yeah, like something else, man.
I only know the first couple generations of Pokemon, but these were such enjoyable designs that I could really dig in and enjoy these, and I really loved the energy between Justice Smith and Ryan Reynolds. Our two main characters are Pikachu and his trainer. Man, they just went back and forth in this comedic, awesome style, and like what you got to see through this story is you got to see that relationship actually evolve. So at the beginning, you know, he doesn't really have a Pokemon partner at all, but then when he finds Pikachu, there's this big evolution between their friendship throughout the movie, and I loved that.
I will say, if you're a Ryan Reynolds fan, you will love this movie. It's pretty much Deadpool Pikachu edition. Like, he's really hilarious the whole time. I love Ryan Reynolds, and he shines through in this movie. He's really great, funny, keeps the parents and adults entertained while the kids are watching, you know, for the cutie animals and stuff. So we're gonna give our recommendations. We recommend see it in theaters, wait for Redbox, or completely pass on this one. So Leah, what's yours?
So I'm gonna say if you're a Pokemon diehard, you have to see this in theaters the day it comes out, which is this Friday. But if you're not as hard into the series and you'd like to just check it out a little bit later, wait for Netflix.
I would highly recommend it.
Right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. We are live and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. So let's get started. The next season of The Bachelorette is just around the corner, and Hannah Brown is the next woman who will have her pick from 30 different men. And we're learning more about those men. There's one that has caught some people's attention. There he is. His name is Mateo Valles. He's 25, studied mechanical engineering, and has a virtual reality startup. But that's not all. He's also a sperm donor who has helped create 114 children. Erica, your face. Why the face? 2 men?
Well, my mom and dad had me. No, I'm just kidding. This is crazy. Okay, this is like the most narcissistic thing I think I've ever heard. 114 children, that's how many times you've donated sperm, which means that he's donated a multitude of times over that.
See, I don't know the details to this. If somebody could somehow inform us, I don't know what one donation vial of sperm.
I think there's like hundreds of thousands.
I know there's hundreds of millions. There's hundreds of millions. So what if he went in there once, Erica, in college, he was broke, which many people do, and I don't judge you for it. What if, I get it if he went in there 300 times, but if he went in there once and he has really good sperm.
If he went in once, and he has 114 kids, that goes from me thinking the most interesting thing about you is your ability to procreate. That's not even a quantifiable talent. Now, you've only gone in once, you've created 114 kids. That's a quantifiable talent. Congratulations. I don't think that happened, though. I think that this is somebody who you should run.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think to your point, the fact that would even come up on a technical first date, I don't know if that's something.
Oh, come on, Al. This is a television
number,
show. You know the producers found that out, plucked it, and blasted it.
Because he told them that, because he's proud of that. I mean, if he was honestly like, I just want to discreetly help families that are having trouble conceiving, that's one thing to be like, another one, number 79, what's up? It's like, that's how it comes off.
That's
and it's,
true.
And it's very narcissistic. It's like, yeah, you can, you did that. It's not like some great feat.
We all side-eyed Octomom. Remember that?
Yes.
I think it's very dangerous when we talk about
And she stayed and raised the kids, Erica.
As a skill.
That's right. Jeff?
I don't know. They're always looking for a new hook on these reality shows. You know what I mean? They can't just be like businessman from Charlotte, North Carolina.
No,
it's got to be like
hook.
Yeah, the sperm dude from Boston.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. But they went completely the opposite way of the Virgin. There was a guy that didn't do anything, and now we're going 114.
Yep, all right.
Bring the Virgin back.
0 to 114 real quick.
Okay.
Thank you, Kelly.
Sorry, Boston. I don't even know where he's from.
All right, well, Ayesha Curry seems to have it all. She's an author of a cookbook, TV host, and has 3 kids with her NBA star husband, Steph Curry. But apparently, she still feels insecure. Earlier this week, she was on Jada Pinkett Smith's show, Red Table Talk, and she talked about wanting more attention from men. Let's take a look.
I don't have any of that. Like, I have 0, this sounds weird, but like male attention. And so then, like, I begin to internalize it, and I'm like, is something wrong with me? Because I don't want it, but it'd be nice to know that, like, someone's looking.
And now she's responding. She posted this photo on Instagram, throwing away a pair of Spanx. The caption reads in part, "If what I'm afraid to say out loud about being a 30-year-old mama of 3 helps another woman like me feel like they're not alone and not the only one with an insecurity, then that makes all of this hoopla worth it." I give her props. I mean, you look at someone like her and you think that she has it all, and it just reminds you that we all deal with insecurities.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, though, because her insecurity is something that I think a lot of us strive to have. If you are really getting fulfilled in every way at home, you will get a lack of, in heterosexual relationships, you'll get a lack of male attention, because males will not try to one-up someone who they don't feel they can one-up. And they have a very strong public relationship that has all of the faith and infidelity that you would want. And so therefore, I could see men not trying to push at her, because why would you do that?
Would you say that Steph gets the same thing, though? Would you say that Steph...
No, I think that's different. Women always think that there's a way to get in.
That's honest.
I think men are a little bit more practical about it if they're trying to really try to talk to you.
Right.
I also think, women face this. I was talking to our co-host Steph, and we're going to get to Steph in a second. And the thing is with women, we face this all the time. So I am a little bit surprised that she's not getting the attention, because any woman can walk, a block to a Starbucks and she's getting hoot and hollered at and whistled at. You go to a gym and it turns into be like you feel like you're being watched every which way, and to the point where Stephanie and I feel like we don't even want to go to the gym publicly. So what's different is, and then we talked to some of the men in the room, Steph and I, and some of the men welcomed the attention. And the women that we talked to in the room didn't want that attention because it's almost so overt. So it surprises me that she doesn't get it just like walking to the local subway.
Well, that's where she feels, I think. That's where she feels, because I can only speak for my wife, and I know she talks about this too. She wants to get that look. And I'm telling you, if you stop getting those looks, you're going to want that look too. You're going to be making 2 trips to Starbucks and 3 trips to the gym just so you get that look. I'm being honest with you right now. My wife wants that look, and she wants to feel good about herself. She's like, I have babies, I'm not attractive anymore. In her own mind, I think she's beautiful. I love her. But she wants to walk into a restaurant and notice that dude looking at her. That's what she wants. I can't speak for all women. That's what she wants.
It's a good conversation. It is.
You don't want that?
I think it's a lot different when you're catcalled. I think, if you're at a restaurant.
Are you talking about a movie from the 80s? Who does that? People catcall you?
Can every woman in this room clap if you were catcalled in the last 24 hours?
24 hours? Come on.
24 hours.
In the last time you walked a street, clap if you were catcalled.
What's a catcall?
Okay, so a catcall, and every woman in this room is clapping. A catcall is when you're...
Are you kidding me?
Like, hey, mama. Hey, what's up, girl?
Hey, mama, whistling, all of the above. Like, oh, smile, girl.
I think Jeff is shocked because the guys that do that, it's very normal, and the guys that don't can't believe other people do it.
You're spot on, Al. I don't consider that attention.
Yeah.
I consider that a show.
Yeah.
Like you want a show.
That's what I was saying.
Not
There's a
giving me
difference,
attention.
And that's what I was trying to tell Jeff. There's a difference between being at a restaurant and being getting the attention and walk into your local Starbucks and being catcalled, because that makes you feel like prey.
Thank you for clarifying, because I had no idea. I was talking about I was talking about that look, like when you're having a coffee and you're like, and then you get caught, you're like, I wasn't looking at her. You know, I was talking about that. I wasn't like Hong Kong.
Yeah. All right, we got to get to Steph. We have our first look of Renee Zellweger taking on a legendary new role. Stephanie Jones, our pop culture expert, has the details, and they're coming in hot.
Oscar winner Renee Zellweger completely transformed herself for the upcoming biopic Judy, where she portrays iconic actress Judy Garland. And new photos have been released. The side-by-side photos are in the latest issue of People, which hits newsstands this Friday. Renee reportedly spent 2 hours a day in makeup for the film, getting prosthetics, contact lenses, and wigs. She said she gained a huge amount of respect for the Wizard of Oz actress whilst preparing for the role. You guys can see Renee as Judy in theaters September the 27th.
Thank you so much, Steph. Coming up on DBL, kitchen knives that will transform any home cook into the next Wolfgang Puck. We've got an incredible price on our DBL Deal Blast. And speaking of food, from dirty, grimy menus to germs floating around salad bars and buffets, we've got the biggest restaurant red flags to watch out for, so stay tuned.
Our are going head-to-head in Fully Clothed and Afraid. Get in on the action by voting for which team will be the ultimate outdoor survivor at dailyblastlive.com/sweepstakes.
Again, said, who does that?
Who does that? I've never done that in my life.
Oh.
I have a theory on that.
How embarrassing.
Are we on?
We're on.
My theory on that is guys that catcall.
Which happens, have any girl walk down a block right now and follow her with a camera and see how often it happens to her.
No, I believe it, but I think that they're secretly afraid of women. And so you set yourself up for failure knowing that you can't yell, hey, baby, give me some of that. And then she'll turn around and be like, wait, slow down, come back,
I know,
sir.
right.
You know she's not going to do that. So when you go, hey, baby, where you at? And then she drives by, you turn your friend like, she's scared of a real man. That way you always have the upper hand instead of being vulnerable and being like, hey, my name is Al.
Totally.
I never do this, but if you're single, I'd like to take you out sometime. That's now you're vulnerable to being like,
what's
embarrassed.
the worst is being honked at, because it scares the living.
I didn't even think about that.
Imagine just walking, you're looking at a picture of your daughter or whatever, maybe you're on the phone, and then
that is jarring.
It's the worst.
I never even thought about
it. And you mentioned something like, well, we have a lot of good-looking people in the studio. Yeah, it has nothing to do with that. You put a woman with boobs and hair walking down the street, she gets catcalled.
There are entire campaigns about this.
Of
like,
course.
don't tell me to smile. I mean, you'll see in major cities photo or like billboards that are basically
smile.
Yeah.
I hate it.
You too pretty to be looking up so sad. Well, my uncle just died.
Right.
Thank you.
Or do we really walk into a Starbucks like this? Like, no, we don't. Like, you have no idea.
I don't. Obviously, I don't.
I want to put Jeff and Al. Well, Al already knows. I want to put. I think it would be an interesting segment to put a wig on. Give you some boobs.
That'd be
funny. And just walk. You don't even need, all you need is a pair of jeans, a t-shirt, and boobs. Walk down the street.
We should do that. I would do that.
We should. Let's.
Today's watch and win word is sand.
Welcome back to DBL. We all like going out to eat sometimes, right? Well, food experts say we should be aware of the not so obvious germs that lurk in restaurants. Not only is it gross, but it can also be a food safety concern. So let's talk about restaurant red flags, huh? That way you are more prepared next time you dine out. If you see perishable food sitting out at room temperature, microbes can be potentially That's right. Yes. Okay. Can potentially be growing. Salad bars or buffets are the hot spots, and your hot food should be served hot. If not, your meal could be in the danger zone where bacteria is flourishing. You say Tom?
Yeah, sorry.
What'd you say?
Oh my God, can I get through this segment? Highway to the danger zone, Tom Cruise. He was doing a Top Gun reference.
Good one,
All
I
right.
missed it.
Thanks.
Okay, but it makes you wonder how long your food has been sitting out. We completely steered off course into Top Gun.
Sam, when you walk into a restaurant and they have a salad bar, do you just wonder like how that could possibly? I just remember one time I was in Vegas and I was at a salad bar at the Circus, and I just happened to look over and I saw like this 4-year-old girl just go 2 fingers deep in the ranch, homie. And from then I was just scarred from salad bars. Like I happened to see that. Imagine what I haven't seen, man. So
what about someone coughing walking by?
Or just people's sleeves
things.
You think that your cough spit nose to go up and not down? It goes down.
I like me a good crab leg buffet.
No, but I'm talking about something that's been sitting out for a while.
Yeah, if it's not hot.
I grew up, probably you too, eating street meat. So I feel like my tummy is like a stomach of steel, but we've all gotten a little sick at a Vegas buffet, let's just be honest.
I got sick from street meat in Japan. I ate some fried fish and I was sick before we got to the base. Like I ate it and it was, within 2 minutes I was like, uh-oh, things are brewing.
All right.
It's like a little witch's den in there.
Disgusting. We have more red flags. Employees shouldn't be sick in any workplace, but a coughing, sneezing bartender is also spreading germs. That person should go home and rest. And what sucks when you're a bartender, it's like you depend on those tips. We know, we all worked in the restaurant industry, so it's like you force yourself to go to work.
Yeah.
You need that money to pay the bills, but it ain't
Again,
fair.
what you talked about in earlier segments about making people work, not having paid sick time off. People go to work sick and they get other people sick and they take that back to their kids.
It's not, we even deal with it here. I kind of got a little giggles, but I'm being serious. We deal with it here because if I'm like still a little sick or coughing, I don't want to come in that day, and I don't want you to come in that day either if you're feeling the same way, because we don't need everybody getting sick at once.
And we're all stuck.
And it happened once. Remember season 1 where everybody got sick?
Oh yeah.
I think there was a period where we were missing like 25 or 30 people.
Yeah. It travels. Yeah. I don't even think we have an open window in here. So
no. Like
it travels. We're on all the time. Check out the utensils. Very important. If they're dirty, just imagine what the kitchen looks like. Yeah. Yeah,
I think, Erica, you mentioned earlier the menus. I look menus and I look for if I can smell dirty mop water, because if you're not changing your mop water out, that's not a good sign. There's nothing like that smell. You're trying to talk yourself out of it, but when you're sitting at the bar, you can smell it.
I think that also has to do with motivating your employees. The fact that we don't have livable wages here and that people are all scraping by and then they feel like that they are resentful. There's a reason why people steal from their jobs, because they feel so resentful. They want to get something out of it to overcompensate their crappy paycheck.
I was so broke when I was a waiter. I was a waiter at a Thai restaurant. I was so broke, like if food would come back and there were like 2 shrimp that weren't touched, I was like,
same.
Dude,
man.
Listen, if
I
you
cut around it, homie.
You don't admit to eating off a plate, you're a liar.
You're a liar.
Yeah, in fact, my husband, because sometimes
look at Erica. No, Erica's too good. Erica, come
on. You never grabbed like one little thing.
I totally did. I have ever eaten off a plate. Oh, really? And I worked from Hooters to Chevy's to really nice high-end restaurants.
Oh, I did.
I have
Erica,
never done that.
It's Hooters. There's lemon pepper wings.
No, people are nasty.
2 are untouched.
People are nasty, Al. Nasty. There is a reason why there are signs everywhere saying employees must wash their hands. Because if they're not at work, they won't wash their hands. Have you ever gone into a public bathroom and just counted how many people have gone in and not washed their hands? That is nasty. I am not eating off your plate, and I likely won't come to your house to eat either. Y'all nasty.
I guess I'm nasty then. I guess I'm nasty.
Times. I would go in the back and be like, how do the people look? They look clean.
Yeah.
Let's eat it.
They are not clean.
I'm right there with you. Coming up on DBL, whitening your teeth just got easier with this home whitening system. Show off those pearly whites in our DBL Deal Blast.
Hey DBL Nation, it's Lex and Chris, and we're here with the DBL digital team giving you guys more top trending stories during the breaks here at Daily Blast Live. Erica always has us cracking up here. She's so good.
She's great. Happy to have her back.
She's so great. Yeah, we are happy to have her back. So we have this trending story right now. It's an update to the R. Kelly story. So his lawyers are responding that he didn't respond to the most recent lawsuits because he is illiterate. That basically means that he can't read or write at like a very base level.
So, so the judgment, I'm sorry. So this court proceeding happened and he didn't show up for it.
Right.
And now his attorneys are saying he didn't show up for it because he can't read and he didn't understand what was happening. So the judge reversed he reversed everything that happened in the court proceeding that he completely missed.
Right.
So that's the latest update. But I mean, I totally believe that he can't read because that was a pretty decent part of the Surviving R. Kelly documentary.
Yeah.
Where they're talking about him in school and how he wasn't doing well and how he just stopped going and he just completely pursued music and all that stuff. Like, totally not surprising that he can't read. Like,
DBL Nation, write us in too if you have seen the documentary. Is it a documentary? The Lifetime docu-series called Surviving R. Kelly. We both have seen it. I would also agree with you that I don't think that he's capable of having any sort of like education.
But I think everybody would be surprised at like which like essential life skills certain celebrities may be missing because they left school early and they just completely devoted their entire lives to their craft.
I think also too, if you are one of his lawyers, your responsibility should be translating what documents he's getting,
those hours.
Right, you should be the one who's explaining all this stuff. So I don't really find that being an excuse to missing court. So DBL Nation, write us and let us know what you guys think, and we're excited to read your comments. Bye.
Morningsave.com to bring you the lowest prices on the hottest products. Here to help us out is lifestyle expert, my girl, Miss Denise Plants.
I love coming here to Daily Blast Live. You guys are awesome. Do you know that?
We do.
Yes.
But you know, it takes awesome to know awesome. So here you go. That's right. I'm here all day. Setting up the patio for summer is a must. And if you want to add some fun to your outdoor setup, Denise has got you covered.
When this came to my house, I was so excited. I had to order it. The 2-pack GABA Goods Bluetooth LED flame speakers. Backyard ambience all in one, lighting and music. And it's perfect for cookouts, outdoor parties, fire pits, maybe just relaxing at the end of the day. Water resistant, built-in rechargeable battery, and music plays up to 5 hours. The LED flame lights last up to 8 hours.
I gotta tell you, they're not only functional, they're also pretty dope. I mean, this is really
cute,
sleek,
right?
Very hot, but is the price too hot to handle?
No. Normally this will run you as much as $160, but now for a 2-pack, just $49. Savings up to 69% off.
$49. Yes. There's gonna be a party in the garden. So according to Harper's Bazaar, sleek hair is back on trend. But if you have thinner hair prone to damage, you'll love this next product to get your polished look.
Yes, let me introduce you to the Pro Cabello Luxury 5500 Soft Touch Brush Straightener. All in one. Available in pink, purple, black, and even white. It emits negative ions that have a triple action system. Detangle, straighten, and increase natural hair shine. It reduces frizziness and increases hair manageability. It heats up to 450 Fahrenheit and has an auto switch off after 1 hour, so it's safe.
We'll have to give you a little pro tip from a curly girl, Denise. This also elongates your curls.
Does it
yeah,
really?
It's for the curly girl too.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm getting one of these, but first I have to know how much it costs.
Normally as much as $150, but do I have a deal for you? For Deal Blast, $20 savings up to 87% off.
If it's $20, I'll take 2. How about that? You liked that pro tip, didn't you? Okay, well, a good smile in any situation can make all the difference. So it's important to keep those pearly whites actually white. Denise, help us out.
This is going to save you so much money. Forget going to the dentist for whiter teeth. The Pro Noir LED Teeth Whitening Kit. Meet Pro Noir's revolutionary LED Teeth Whitening Kit, specifically designed for you to whiten your teeth yourself at home with spectacular results. It's formulated to hydrate teeth and prevent discomfort during treatments. It includes 4 gel syringes, 2 mouth trays, mini LED lamp, and a user's guide.
I could use a TV Smile. How much is this TV Smile gonna cost me?
Normally as much as $200, but today, $29 has savings up to 86% off.
$29 for teeth whitening. I am so there because between coffee and red wine.
Oh my gosh.
You know the deal.
White wine can stain your teeth too, just saying.
Well, I'm definitely getting 2. Well, every great chef has a favorite knife, and if you want knives that last at a great price, we've got you covered.
The Cuisinart 6-piece classic German steel knife set with blade covers. Now this includes the 8-inch chef knife, the 8-inch slicing knife, the 8-inch bread knife, plus you get a 6-inch Sentoku knife and a 6-inch serrated utility knife, plus a 3.5-inch paring knife. Cuisinart's classic impression 6-piece knife set is comprised of efficiently sharp and durable essential kitchen cutlery for tackling everyday food preparation tasks.
They are very nice, and you get a whole set. Let's chop up the price real quick. How much is this going to cost us?
Normally, it's going to run you as high as $126, but today you get the 6-piece set for $35, savings up to 72% off.
$35?
Yes.
Have fun shopping. Now head over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing products at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. Thank you so much, Miss Denise.
Of course.
It's always a pleasure. Let's chop it up. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're all good. Sorry, I was just having a little handful of cashew nuts. They were delicious.
You're so cute the way you say that. Say it again.
What, cashew nuts? Wait, what am I saying?
Cashew.
Cashew.
I love it. Oh my God, that's so
Anyway, they were delicious. Highly recommend if you want a little snack. Yesterday was the end of my 10-day challenge, and it was really good to go and see Emily at her gym. And you know, us women, we don't like getting weighed. When is it ever a good day when you're gonna get weighed? But it was really good just to go and get it over with, because it's been really tearing us all up. Like, how has it been going? What are the results? Are the results good? Are the results bad? We don't actually know yet. We're not going to know until Friday. Emily hid the results, so we have no idea who the winner is. We have no idea if we lost weight, if we put on weight, if we went down in fat, all of these things. There are so many things to consider. So we don't know. But I decided to try and continue on with my 10-day challenge a little bit longer. So today's day 11 of no sugar, of lots of protein. I haven't worked out yet. I'm going to on my lunch break. And the reason is, I just thought I want to wait. If I see the results and there's no change, then you know what? I'm not going to bother anymore. I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put myself through the torment. But if it gets to Friday and my results are good, it's going to give me motivation to be healthier, and it's going to give me motivation to look after myself and check food labels more. So I didn't want to swing straight back into my old ways until I've got those results. So I thought, you know what? It's only a couple more days. I can do this. And also, I wasn't taking a lot of sugar. So I think I predominantly function on a lot of sugar. So for Brandon now, they were really bothered about alcohol, but for me it definitely was my sugar intake. So anyone who knows me knows I love tea so much, and I drink English breakfast tea 8-9 times a day. I have a teaspoon of sugar in it every single day. So when you add that up, that's like eight teaspoons of sugar just from like a drink. So that doesn't include, you know, if I have a Coca-Cola, which I might do on my lunch break. It doesn't include, you know, if I have any snacks or a little bar of chocolate or something, which, let's be honest, I'm a human being. I'm gonna do. So, yeah,
I just want to try and keep off it as long as possible until I see the results. Let me tell you, if I haven't got a change, I'm going to be furious. Will I win? Probably not. But I did honestly try my best, and that is what counts. We're still on. You're still with me.
All right, that's me in Japan. That's the fish that I was eating on the way to the USO tour before I got sick.
Photoshopped.
It was fried fish and didn't work out well. But shout out to our troops. I'll do anything for y'all.
I love it.
Thank
Bye,
you for
guys.
the slow clap, Jeff.
Hi, DBL Nation.
Good night.
Yeah. Okay, Jeff complimented
really?
Sam last time we talked about
Really?
this.
I
So we're
did.
talking about fully naked and
they said,
afraid.
who's gonna
Fully
win?
naked. It's not going to be fully clothed.
Whoa.
It's going to be fully
Up in the
clothed.
game.
Yeah, but they will not be
I
naked.
told you should have stuck around, Sam.
So they're going to be fully clothed and afraid. It's
Whoa, your watch is talking.
It's talking
I
to
said.
us.
I want to hear the compliment.
Well, here's what
So,
I said.
first-
Listen, it's going to be a big competition because it's just going to be a matter of whose teammate is the heaviest anchor.
and we decided it's Tori now. Let's just face it.
Yeah, but-
it's one or the other.
Yeah.
We said Sam. We said you probably have some tricks up your sleeve that they don't know about.
Well, I definitely grew up
tricks?
camping. I definitely grew up camping, so I do know how to pitch a tent. I do know how to start a fire. I know how to do all
I
that
don't know
stuff.
how to do any of that.
I definitely have seen bears and snakes and all of the above. So if it does happen, I'm not going to freak out. I'll go into
Got your bear spray?
Yeah, well, I'll go into survival mode.
Yep.
If a bear comes in our tent, I'm going to freak out. So I'm just telling you.
I don't think
Well, no,
we're
you
going to be
just
seeing any bears.
We're not
this
going
weekend.
to see any bears. I go camping all the time. You're not going to see any bears. We're not going to see any.
I saw a bear when I was at the Grand Hyatt in Lake Tahoe.
What'd you say? What?
I was at the Grand Hyatt in Lake Tahoe and I went down to get the kids' sleeping bag and came back up and there's a bear between me. That's when
Hey, Al, are you scared of running into a bear this year?
home.
Are you
It's
scared?
their home.
Yes.
Don't let her get in your
I don't
head,
like
dude.
nature is stupid.
Bye, guys.
Hey,
Who do you
we're
think
all
will
a
win?
team.
Get on
We'll
our
be
website
fine.
and vote, and you'll win a
Hate
prize.
nature.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Thursday, May 9th. We are live and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. Right now I'm here with Erica, Stephanie, and Al. I'm Jeff. Tori is out on assignment. Let's get to it, guys. You guys, trust me, you got to see this one. I don't know why I said that. A massive gun bust in an exclusive neighborhood in Los Angeles. Look at all these guns. Looks like a movie. Police and federal agents responded to an anonymous tip and seized more than 1,000 firearms from a house near the Playboy Mansion. It is reportedly owned by a woman named Cynthia Beck, who has 3 daughters with the son of J. Paul Getty. That's according to the LA Times. The LAPD released these photos saying a suspect was arrested on suspicion of possessing, selling, and manufacturing assault weapons. In addition to the guns, thousands of rounds of ammo were also found in the home. Wow, good score by the LAPD, but you never know what you're living next to.
Right. I don't know why people are so shocked that in affluent communities there would be illegal activity happening, especially in like super high functioning and lucrative illegal activity. I mean, generally the money is where the money is, right?
Right.
We're following the money.
Yeah, and this is a
$7 million home.
You should have said that and then got into a Cadillac, Eric.
Yeah.
The money is what the money is.
I mean, the Playboy Mansion's right there, the Spelling Mansion's right there. It's a popular, I mean, you know where that is.
Right, yeah.
So that's, I mean, you got to have some big bucks to be in that area.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
and obviously guns are big bucks.
Yeah, this isn't just, you know, the regular celebrities. This is, you know, like Michael Jackson was living there. You know, this is like big. This is like the private, the most exclusive area to live, probably outside of Calabasas in LA. But I think, yeah, you never know who you're living next to. This shouldn't be a huge surprise. I agree with everything that Erica said. You know, you can live next door to anything. I remember one time there was someone who had a whole weed factory in their home down the road from where my mum and dad lived, and we didn't know until the police raided it.
You never know. I'm sure there's a lot more going on, but good score.
That's right.
Good score. All right, guys. A vigil held for the school shooting here in Colorado yesterday erupted into a protest last night. Students and parents spontaneously walked out after the conversation became political, chanting mental health. The event was originally described as an interfaith memorial vigil. Meantime, we're learning more about what went on inside the classroom with one of the suspected gunmen who is accused of killing 18-year-old Kendrick Castillo. Here's how his fellow classmate described the scene.
What I saw yesterday was the absolute best of people. I got to see two heroes, two regular high school kids, two really awesome people jump into action without any hesitation, and I was more than lucky to join them in doing that action. Someone entered the building with incredibly malicious intent, using their cowardice, surprise, and superior weapons, and they lost. They completely and utterly lost to good people.
And we are also hearing from Kendrick Castillo's family about their son's death. This is his father. Take a look.
To see all of his friends alive and him offer up his life, I know that's what he would do. Our son paid the price and others are able to go home. Okay? Thank God for that.
And if you're wondering how you can help, the local sheriff's office posted this to Facebook saying that there is an account set up with Wells Fargo Bank called the Kendrick Castillo Memorial Fund. And there's another video that is going viral right now from the school shooting. A sixth grader from that school was interviewed by CNN. Just listen to this.
I was hiding in the corner and they were right outside the door. I had my hand on the metal baseball bat just in case. Because I was going to go down fighting if I was going to go down.
So that's where we're at. So politicians, lawmakers, that's where we're at. A sixth grader trying to arm himself with a bat against a gunman. That's where we're at.
Obviously, we're really sick of having to talk about these stories because it's ridiculous that we're still talking about these stories. We're talking about a child who is 18 years old who sacrificed himself in order to save others. Kendrick didn't even get his visual or his moment to be celebrated and recognized because the visual was politicized. Last week, we were talking about Riley Howell, who did the same thing for a University of North Carolina, put himself in front of the bullets in order to save his classmates. We could hardly remember Riley's last name today. I know that it's the timing and people feel like they need to get in their points at this time, but when do we honor these children? When do they get their moment to be celebrated for a life very well lived and cut entirely too short? When is that time?
Well, Erica, it's sad to say, but just you saying that, I mean, would you say that our country's not on its way to having a school shooters victims day? I mean, there's going to eventually be, another year at this pace, there'll be enough victims where somebody, no different than somebody saying, my father served in Vietnam, my mom, was a Korean War vet, or my grandmother, something like that. It's going to touch so many people where you're right. Unfortunately and fortunately, these people will be recognized, because if we're not going to do anything about it, let's at least take a day where we step out of school and say, hey, we're unable to protect our children, so let's at least take a day where no one works. No one has the excuse of going to work and you're too busy. I would like us to sit there. No barbecues, no nothing. Just sit there and be like, this is us for 24 hours. To just sit there and just constantly have it rerun. All the people that have been shot and killed and murdered and maimed. and just have a day to reflect. No 3-day weekends, no partying it up. Just really reflect on what we've done, because I think we need to look at ourselves in the mirror.
Yeah, well, we definitely do, but that will never happen. That'll never happen because it'll bring too much light on what is actually happening.
Yeah.
Because people want to just be in the dark about this problem instead of doing something, me included. I don't know what there is to do but give it lip service on the show and say thoughts and prayers to a man who lost his father 2 days ago when his son's supposed to be graduating today or tomorrow, and he's at home mourning his son.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. And then tomorrow it's like, oh, cool, what's the plans for the weekend? Until it's your son, until it's your family that you're bearing. That's the only way we're going to change anything, I feel like.
It's literally, I just can't believe how much your government will let slide to the point until something more is done. It stems from, you don't just kill, I guess, the weed at the top, right? You have to go down to the roots. There's so many problems here. We need to address young white males' mental health issues. We need to address the schools and their security. We need to look at what's happening with guns and the rules and violations around guns. There is so much that needs to be done here. It's not one simple thing, but something does need to be done. Right. Like, there are so many innocent lives that are getting lost every single day. And Al and I were talking about it earlier, just saying, at what point, at what school, is enough going to be enough? Because, I mean, it doesn't seem to affect anyone.
It's not. There's so many people. You talked about it being politicized.
To be doing anything more.
There's so many people that are fine with it. They do not want guns regulated at all. But we wouldn't even do this with swimming pools. If we wouldn't leave a public pool open and uncovered. They'd be like, a 4-year-old could fall in there covered. That's a regulation. Putting locks on things, putting locks on a set of knives, those are regulations. Do you want to go to a restaurant that's not regulated? I sure as hell don't. All the things that in your life are regulated except for this one thing. So this country needs to sit back and have a real honest conversation about what is it about guns that is really at the bottom of what we're talking about, because this is bigger than regulations. Because I guarantee you, everybody that's an anti-gun person, they walk lockstep like a little you-know-what to every other regulation that is thrown at them by this government, whether it's the tax code, whether it's trying to build a second level on your house. They don't have any problem with those regulations. Oh, the HOA said I can't have a fence. All right, well, I'll do this. But as soon as it's like, hey, maybe we shouldn't give an assault weapon to a psychopath, well, let's see what's up, because you're messing with the Constitution now. Is there something deeper with guns?
It's money.
It's money, yeah.
It's also domestic terrorism, and until we start calling these people terrorists, we have an issue.
Yeah.
Because if we start splitting hairs about who's a terrorist and who isn't a terrorist, someone coming in shooting up children, that's not domestic terrorism.
It definitely isn't.
Pretty sure that's terrorism.
Interesting.
All right, guys, good conversation. We'll continue in a break. We'll be right back.
No, Steph, I want you to say what you just said, because it was such a great point.
Well, it was just.
And it was a piggybacking off what Erica said.
It was
which is so
piggybacking
brilliant.
off what Erica just said. So Erica was just saying about how it pretty much basically is a terrorist attack.
Not pretty much, it is.
It is.
We just have to be very clear. What is terrorism? First of all, are we terrified? We should be. We should be definitely terrified. The idea that there are sects or groups, or however we want to say it, this is a thing. When you have someone who is plotting to go in and cause mass destruction against American people, but more importantly, our children, and it's so pervasive that we do this story every single week. If we change the venue to an airport, it's terrorism. It's terrorism. And they are terrorists. I don't care if he's a 15-year-old kid from Highlands Ranch, Colorado, and lives in a $500,000 home. Still a terrorist. He killed children. He killed a child. He tried to kill multiple people. That's terrorism. I don't care if his hair is pink, purple, blue, black. He's a terrorist. Like, we can't have like a spectrum of what domestic terrorism is.
We wouldn't even call the guy that ran over Heather Heyer at the Charlottesville march a terrorist. He was never called that. He was called mentally unstable. I mean, you talk about terrorism and its effects. I've had multiple conversations with adults about sending their kids to school. I think that's the definition of terrorism.
Yeah.
There's just nothing. I always think about. I think about this when I go home all the time too. There's nothing to deter anybody from shooting up their school. We're not moving any way in any kind of law or passing anything to say like, listen, you could be a little bit more aggressive. We still have to say the suspected gunman. That's where. This guy got tackled by, we know who it is, but we have to say suspected gunman or we're going to get in trouble. There's nothing to deter anybody from walking into a school because they get their 5 minutes of fame when they're on TV waving in the camera.
Tomorrow on DBL, the results of our doable 10-day fitness challenge are in.
Brandon and Jeff and Steph were so competitive, I was like, I gotta win.
Find out which of our hosts will come out on top. Then, May is for moms, and we're giving one deserving mom a makeover you have to see to believe. Her emotional story, and the reveal that brought everyone to tears. That's tomorrow on DBL.
Ooh, I can't wait to see who wins. Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host, and we talk about what you're talking about. And voters right now in Denver narrowly approved the decriminalization of psychedelic mushrooms. That doesn't mean mushrooms are legal. It just means adults over 21 will not be arrested. Experts say this could support people with PTSD, depression, and nicotine addiction, but opponents say mushrooms won't be used responsibly. So DBL Nation, should magic mushrooms be criminalized or decriminalized?
Well, Carrie from Facebook says, I had a really terrible experience with mushrooms. I ended up in the hospital. This is a dicey idea. Well, Carrie, I think that anytime you do something that is unregulated, you don't know what you're doing, then it could be a recipe for disaster. But I'm very intrigued by the idea that this is a possible cure or at least management for PTSD, which is something that generally would be managed by pharmaceuticals. If I had to choose one or the other, I would go the natural route over what Big Pharma is doing. However, I think to each his own. It's important to understand, though, 10 years ago in Denver, it was the same thing. Marijuana was decriminalized, and it wasn't until it was passed 5149 that we're in the situation that we are in now. But of course, there's always going to be people who take it too far.
All right. Brian from Facebook says it contributes to bad behavior, bad driving, domestic violence on mushrooms, job loss, addiction, health problems. Oh, wait, that's alcohol. Good. I should have finished your comment before I made a little snarky one. I completely agree. If we're going to take away things that aren't used responsibly, we should start with double cheeseburgers. All right. Like there are things that everybody can use, and some people go too far, whether it's cigarettes, whether it's anything, and that shouldn't affect everybody else's access to them.
Ooh, good conversation, though. Thank you guys for the comments. Coming up on DBL, restaurant red flags. We're counting down the germiest, nastiest ways you can get sick at restaurants. But first, drama is the name of the game in reality television, and we've got the clips you're talking about in Reality Roundup. I was going to do crowd participation there, but this.
Did you say the receipts back there?
Hello. Hi, DBL Nation. A little bit of business there, but hey, welcome to the breaks. This story is coming out of New York Daily. Wow, what a story, guys. Let me tell you. Burglary that happened in Ohio. But the person that broke in didn't steal anything. This woman broke into a home, and all she did was pet the dog and wash the dishes. Yes, you heard me right. She didn't steal anything. The people who filed the police report didn't say anything was stolen. This woman broke into a home and pet the dog and washed the dishes. So they did some chores, and that's about it. Right? I mean, like, I'm wondering the same thing. Like, how do you break into a house to only pet somebody's dog and wash some dishes? It must have been. I mean, I'm like, look, I've never heard of a burglary being so safe. So it's a little bit strange that all she wanted to do was do a couple chores, it sounds like. Maybe this lady needs to think about some maid services or maybe doing her own chores, getting her own dog. I don't know, DBL Nation. Write us in, let us know what you think about this story, and we'll see you next break.
Leo's the man!
Welcome back to DBL. It's the part of the show where we obsess over our favorite reality TV moments. That's right. It is time for Reality Roundup. We even got Jeff Schroeder joining us. You may not know, but he is a huge Vanderpump Rules fan. Him and I.
Guilty pleasure.
Yeah, we geek out to it every week. We call it Vandy.
Vandy's Monday night. So sad. It's almost over.
I know. Speaking of it almost being over, it is the first episode of a 3-part reunion with Andy Cohen. And with the entire cast all in one room, you can imagine things got, well, pretty heated. Take a look.
Come on. Why are you allowing? He's belittling her as she's talking. Because you are belittling Raquel.
You guys are all belittle Raquel. He just said she just called herself a beauty queen. That's all he said.
Okay, go on.
Thank you. I can see why you might think that as a beauty queen, I would want to be on the show.
Well, yeah, and it even got even more heated. Them calling her dumb, and then her defending herself, and them continuing to say that she was dumb. It was very uncomfortable.
The dress was uncomfortable for me. Coming out in that dress, and you don't want people to get on you. Well, that was a bad choice.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I just love this nonsense drama. We deal with a lot of important things on this show a lot, and I like just going home to nonsense like that. It releases me.
I don't follow Vanderpump Rules all that much, but
Erica,
I do get one or two episodes, or three, the reunion generally, but it's always interesting to me because I see it and I'm like, oh, that's the face formerly known as server number 4. What is happening with these transformations?
I know.
Their faces don't even look the same.
Some of them have definitely used a little bit too much plumping and other things as well.
And they're young.
That's true. It's true. Next on Mama June from Not to Hot, June gets some tough love from her sister about what may be a toxic relationship.
And I don't know what the future holds for me and him. I really don't. Well, then kick him out and find out. I can't.
Oh, Mama June has I'm sorry, I know Erica with the eye roll. Like, it's more than that because we all know that Mama June has had horrific relationships with child molesters.
Yes. Yeah, she's put her children in danger. I don't understand why this woman gets a show. I don't get it at all. Like, I'm not supporting this.
Agreed. Good.
I'm on the same page. I was like, how do you still have a show?
Yeah.
What's going, who's watching
Because
this
you
show?
had a physical transformation from not to hot.
You know, it's funny. I'm like, who's watching this show? And I just said, I love Vanderpump
That's
Rules.
different. You have no convicted, convicted pedophiles on that show. All right, and finally, on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the ladies go camping. Yes, you heard that right. The ladies borrow an RV. They hit the road. Take a look.
Why wouldn't you say that to me, Camille, in the moment when we're all sitting there? What I've noticed about you is you like to talk out of the side of your mouth, but the second you're with somebody to their face, you back down, and you have a whole new story to play.
My face is right here.
Teddy almost baby doll melon camp. She has come out of her shell. She was like, I am a millennial. Hear me roar. She has things to say. But Camille needs to be careful because Camille is revisiting season 1, Camille Beverly Hills. And
That's
you remember,
not good.
she was the villain. She has something to say about everybody. And as soon as Teddy's right, as soon as she's right in front of them, she gets real closed lips, girl. Just say it. You feel that way, say it.
Yeah, season 1 Camille was a disaster. She was stirring the pot. She definitely seemed medicated, and I say that respectfully, but she seemed medicated the entire first season. And yeah, she's not the Camille that we started to love in season 2 and 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not feeling you, Camille, at all. I'm on Team Teddy. What are you on?
Get it together, girl.
I gotta go with Teddy.
Yeah,
but I'm always really just Team Erica Jane.
I know.
Whether she's in it or
not. Girl, we all love Erica Jane. Yeah. Please. All right, that was Reality Roundup. Did you enjoy it?
I love it. I love me some good reality TV.
Speaking of reality TV, a contestant on The Bachelorette has a very interesting side gig, and it involves fathering more than 100 kids. But first, we'll show you how a special swing set is making all the difference in a young man's life. Heart Threads is next.
Okay, so Jeff has just been giving me a bit of this. Because I was outside of the studio just filming a promotion for a competition that we've got coming up, which will be really exciting.
No, but they know the 10-day challenge, so we find out.
No, and that was for another competition.
Oh, I thought you were filming for a 10-day challenge.
And Jeff assumed, because he's so competitive, that I was filming a winner acceptance or something for the 10-day challenge.
I caught her. I'm like, what are you doing out here?
He was like, have you won the challenge? We don't even know yet.
And I thought they pulled her aside to do a special little shoot. and I didn't like it.
It wasn't at all. It's for another competition that's for you guys. So keep your eyes peeled and you'll find out over the next few days. But
now I want to know what that is too.
Yeah, be excited about the Emmys.
Ooh.
But Jeff, how do you think you did on the 10-day challenge? And have you stuck to it because it ended yesterday? Have you broken it at all?
I haven't. I even kept it going yesterday. So
Me too.
I ate good yesterday. I got up this morning. I worked out again, even though I can't walk. It's so weird. I can't walk, but then I stretch out real good.
He really hurt his legs, actually. You were saying yesterday.
I was super sore because I did leg day, and I did too much. But I don't need to do all that. I don't know why I'm getting crazy. But I did take it very seriously. I mean, Cinco de Mayo over the weekend, the Kentucky Derby I love. It was like I went to a rugby game. You know when you go to a rugby game, you like have to drink a beer to get in. You know what I mean? I didn't. No, I was a good bowler.
So Jeff worked really, really hard, and he just said to me, "You're really competitive. He really wants to win."
Yeah.
So I mean, if you had to bet, I would bet my money on Jeff actually, and the reasons are, Al did some drinking. Brandon did 3 days of drinking.
It's a 10-day challenge. I didn't drink 3 days.
And I had the most body fat to lose, so I don't think.
But that's a good thing.
I don't know. So.
But you did good. You took it serious.
I think
we all
hard.
honestly.
I did try really, really hard.
I just want to win for the sake of winning because I am very competitive. But honestly, I think we all did good, and I think we all dropped weight and we all improved our bodies. Yeah, which is a great thing. I want to do something maybe like every month or have a month symbolize something, or have the first 10 days of the month symbolize something.
You were
maybe
saying
do the 10-day challenge at the beginning. The dates 1 through 10.
And what would you change or what would you give up? Let's say next month, if it was 10 days, what would you give up or change?
I don't know. Each month I'd have to do.
I just have to say something.
All right,
I went to brunch with Steph on Saturday, and I had a mimosa, and I was trying to pressure her.
She did.
And she would not do it.
And then tell what else you did. You went out to dinner.
And then we had our lovely makeover.
Yes, Gail's makeover. You'll see tomorrow.
You'll see it all tomorrow.
That's good, yeah.
And we had a really lovely evening. And Sam, Tori, and Erica all were sipping on champagne. And I didn't do it.
She didn't do it.
That's tough. That's tough, especially when you're in a group.
So I hope she wins because she tried really hard.
You gonna say that right to my face?
You tried hard too, Jeff.
Got it, bro.
Team Steph.
Team Steph.
I'm not very
go eat a smelly salad.
I'm the least competitive out of obviously all the boys. So obviously I'm not a boy.
Out of the group.
I'm the least competitive out of the group.
How long does this break? Jeez, we've been here for 5 minutes.
What was the best? What was one thing you've really missed, Jeff, on the 10-day challenge?
I said it in my video clip. I'll give you a little inside peek. I thought I wanted like a beer or something, or like a margarita. I want a key lime pie, like super bad.
Our DBL hosts are going head-to-head in Fully Clothed and Afraid. Get in on the action by voting for which team will be the ultimate outdoor survivor at dailyblastlive.com/sweepstakes. And you could walk away with a gift card from Outdoors Geek. Today's watch and win word is sand.
Welcome back to DBL. Now today's Heart Thrust is about helping others. Our own Erica Cobb shows us a custom-made swing that made all the difference for a young man with autism.
This gentle giant got a specially made swing from a kind stranger. Kobe is 23, stands almost 7 feet tall, and weighs more than 200 pounds. Although he graduated high school, he doesn't have a job because he has autism and is nonverbal. But Kobe finds joy on his custom-made swing.
I mean, he's out here 5-10 times a day at night, in the morning, rain or shine. And as soon as he gets off of it, there's an immediate, calm.
Kobe had long outgrown his old swing.
He started getting whelps on the sides of his legs, on both sides of his thighs. He would actually be bleeding through his blue jeans.
So Kobe's mom reached out to everyone she could for help. She was turned away many times until she came to Alan Ellison. Alan came with an engineer and put together a swing just for Kobe.
His size and his love for swinging and how it helps him, mentally and physically. And we just got excited about an opportunity to give back to someone.
Just amazing. Restored my faith, let's put it that way.
I love when those little communities come together.
Yeah, and you never know if you have a resource that can be a blessing to others. Everyone has a talent, and it's about how you can apply that talent. And who knew that this guy was going to be able to build this swing set for this kid, or for this man, I should say, and be his blessing. That's amazing.
And think about how much joy it brought to his life. Like,
yeah.
to have a swing set that's not too small, like you said, it was rubbing against.
Yeah, it said it was making him bleed. It was that small.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he looks like a very gentle giant, and I'm glad he's got something that
7
makes him
feet
so
tall.
happy.
That's right.
We all are, Steph. We all love it. All right, here's what's coming up next on DBL.
A Bachelorette contestant calls his side hustle an interesting icebreaker. Here's a hint. He's fathered more than 100 children. And hold the germs. The top restaurant red flags that might make you think twice before eating out. When DBL comes back.
Welcome back to the DBL Stream Team. I'm Leo here with Stu to talk about HBO's Veep this week. Oh my goodness, y'all. This is a political comedy on HBO where you can stream on HBO Go, HBO Now. And it's been running for 7 seasons. And honestly, I'm just now getting into it, but Stu here has been on it since day one.
Yeah, so I've been on it from the start. It's from Scottish writer Armando Iannucci, which is a weird Scottish name. But basically he is... it's a fast, crass, inside look into American politics. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is the main character. You know her from Seinfeld.
Yes.
It's fast, it's funny, it's one of my favorite shows, and I definitely check in every Sunday. Now, I will say, season finale is coming up. This is the last season. So if you haven't seen it, start from the beginning. Enjoy the whole thing. It's only half-hour episodes. Super easy.
And it's incredibly funny, man. I mean, this episode was the first episode I actually dived into this series, and I could easily follow this series pretty cohesively without having to go back to the first episode. Some context was a little unclear, but everything was very funny, light, it rolled quickly. I mean, I was really enjoying myself for not having watched 6 more seasons.
The cool thing, too, is it kind of mirrors our political landscape. So a lot of things they're talking about now it's kind of like mirroring Trump, but not mentioning his name ever. And in past seasons, they kind of do that with other political people as well. So you kind of get the feeling that you're up on current events, which is nice.
Yeah, and this episode focused specifically on their presidential race, am I right?
Yes, and that's almost every season. So in a weird way, you get this deja vu, but also it's always fresh and new. Different characters are doing different things, but it also, again, kind of mirrors American politics. It's the same people every year doing the same thing. So it's a lot of fun. The cool thing is it's joke-driven and character-driven.
That's so great.
As opposed to plot-driven.
Yeah.
So if you miss an episode,
it's not a big one.
Yeah, you might not get a joke the same way, but it's always funny. It's always enjoyable.
Yeah, and also coming up, guys, on Hulu, they're getting Broad City, the very last season that just aired on Comedy Central. And Netflix is also getting Lucifer, which is coming off of Fox and going to be produced by Netflix originally.
3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. We're live and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. Let's get to it, guys, because big news. The next season of The Bachelorette is just around the corner, and Hannah Brown is the next woman who will have her pick of 30 different men. We're learning more about those men, and there's one that caught her attention. His name is Mateo. He's 25, studied mechanical engineering, and has a virtual reality startup. But that's not all. He also has He is also a sperm donor who has helped create 114 children. Would that bother anybody?
Yes. You know, growing up as a little girl, I always used to think I'm gonna one day be an adult, get married, and have a husband who has 114 children before we ever say I do. This is ridiculous, and I think it's a really big sign of narcissism, the idea that you would continue to donate your sperm in order to make more children. Do you really think we need that many of you in the world? And this is a big problem because anytime you have procreation as a form of your talent, Octomom, that's a problem. We can't have people being famous for being able to procreate.
Well, at least Octomom stayed and raised those kids. I mean, Erica, we're living in an age where you can find your partner. Like that was part of being a sperm donor back in the days. Like it was very anonymous. Now, any DNA that you put on that cup, any one of those 114 people can find you. And I mean, people are going to want answers. I would say maybe half are like, I'm cool with my birth parents, but half of the people are going to be like, I want to see where I came from. And are you prepared for that long after that little money is spent up?
And thank goodness for that, so we don't have brothers, sisters, sisters, brothers, that's procreating because they don't know that they're related.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that could happen.
True.
I mean, especially, I don't know how that works or how many times you have to go to the doctor, get 114 kids. But I think Erica's right about the narcissism. If you were to say that, I understand reality shows have to have a hook. I get that. But you'd be like, I have over 100 children. To be 114, you know how many are out there. You're keeping track.
You're aware of it.
Yeah, just round up to 150.
Is this weird to you, Steph?
Oh yeah, it would really. I mean, I understand if maybe you're trying to get through college and you're really struggling. I mean, that's a choice you can make. You can also go work as a waiter or a waitress, right? I mean,
Uber.
It's a choice. I mean, I think as well, it's really, really kind of some people to donate their eggs or their sperm if, to a family who maybe that can't have a child. But so maybe like one or two, I get it. Like, you're doing a good thing. But 114, like, no, I would like to think that the person I end up with, or maybe if I ever have a child with, I want that to be like, I don't know, a special thing. Yeah. It would really bother me thinking he's got 114 kids to people he doesn't even know, who could rock up at any time.
So this would be a problem if you had a relationship and then they revealed this. You'd be like,
Yeah, I would just be like, oh gosh, it would really put me off them.
If you said, baby, I'm pregnant, and then a neon 200 sign comes down with balloons.
Oh my gosh.
Would that make it less special?
A little bit. It'll take away from the moment. All right, we're moving on.
You a punch card?
That was a good one, though. Ayesha Curry seems to have it all, doesn't she? She's an author of a cookbook, TV host, and she has kids with her star husband, Steph Curry. But apparently, she still feels insecure. Earlier this week, she was on Jada Pinkett Smith's show, Red Table Talk, and she talked about wanting more attention from men. Let's take a look.
I don't have any of that. Like, I have zero, this sounds weird, but like male attention. And so then I begin to internalize it, and I'm like, is something wrong with me? Because I don't want it, but it'd be nice to know that like someone's looking.
And now there you are. And now she's responding. She posted this photo on Instagram, throwing away a pair of Spanx. The caption reads in part.
Was she giving a TED talk too? Where was the stage?
If I'm not afraid to say out loud about being a 30-year-old woman mama of 3 helps another woman like me feel like they're not alone and not the only woman with insecurity, then that makes all of this hoopla worth it. If what Ayesha said is what she said, is that uplifting to other women?
I don't.
Do you feel like if you get a look, it's kind of
It depends on the scenario. It depends on the scenario. If I'm going on a night out and I'm all dressed up and I'm going to a club or something and someone looked at me, I'd be like, ooh, I look lovely. If it's in a gym where I'm just trying to get on with what I'm doing, I would find it really distracting. And it really puts me off. It really puts me off going. So now I love going, me and Erica go a couple of times a week, and I love going in with Erica because it gives me I guess a false sense of security or confidence being with another girl. It makes me feel safer, so I'll go to the class that I wouldn't normally go to.
Let me ask you this. What if you kept going to class with Erica, but all the guys in the class kept giving Erica attention and you didn't get any? Would you feel some kind of way about it?
I genuinely wouldn't mind.
Well, that wouldn't happen.
Why?
It's Steph. Who doesn't love Steph? No,
Come on, give yourself some credit.
No, I'm just kidding. But honestly, I think it's something where I don't think that a man looking at you necessarily means that it's something positive. I understand what she's saying, but I think the reason why she's saying that is because men don't step to her because she's married to a man who clearly values her, their relationship, and prioritizes her as number one. Unless you're going to bring at least that to the table, you probably are wasting your time. For me personally, I get much more satisfaction out of the idea of a woman recognizing for something than a man. Last week, my husband and I really quickly were leaving a restaurant, and I turned to like pull the door, and this little girl turned around, not little girl, she was probably like 17, turned around, she looked, and she went, like, looked me up and down and went, yes. And I was like, thank you so much. Thank you. I didn't try hard, but I tried hard enough. That means more than a man.
So a 17-year-old boy saying that wouldn't mean the same?
No.
Oh no. You'd be
Really?
like,
I'd be like,
even if it came from a genuine place?
No. Because she was like saying like, I would have chosen that. Or like, you know,
well, so is a 17-year-old boy.
But they say that a lot. They say that they say that girls, women dress for other women. We aim to please other girls. We do.
Really? I'd agree
yeah,
with that.
definitely.
If a girl has on, like, a woman has on some $600 heels, to you and I, we just see red heels, but like a woman that knows shoes, they'd be like, those are limited edition. Like, that's not for us. We just see high heels, but they know what the purse is. They know.
Well, sometimes they're the only nudes that have your color. That's why you bought them.
Are we talking about Louboutins?
There you go, Jeff.
I got it.
You
I
pronounced it correctly,
You think
too.
we're not looking? We know Al.
That's
we know.
right.
Me and Al are looking. All right, guys, a country music icon is launching her very own home goods brand. Let's get over to Raquel Villanueva. She has news at the moment.
That's right, Jeff. Move over, Martha Stewart. Dolly Parton is launching her very own lifestyle brand, and the collection is so big, Dolly says you might even see my mug on a mug. Now, these aren't just the actual mugs. They're kind of what I'm just hoping to see. Now, she's been working 9 to 5 on a new line that will include clothing, jewelry, and home goods. It's based off of Dolly's personal style, so expect to see some Americana-themed pieces. No word on when the products will debut, but DBL Nation, would you buy Dolly's new line?
Thanks, Raquel. I mean, she's not like a chef or anything.
No, but I would love a mug with Dolly Parton's face on it, saying like Jolene.
I think you could have that made.
Teeline. I would sit there singing it.
Oh, Teeline instead of Jolene? Drink your tea? Maybe you guys should collaborate.
I would love, I would love like if she did cushions with rhinestones and like sparkly stuff on there.
Just hold out because they might be on sale at Marshall's in like a year or so.
It might be. Right next to that cologne that's always up front. It's always some Stetson up there.
Oh, Lord.
All right. We were up here and then it just went like that.
Sorry, sure.
Coming up on DBL Kitchen Knives, that will transform any home cook into the next Wolfgang Puck. Those are some good knives. And we've got an incredible price in our DBL Deal Blast. And speaking of food, from dirty, grimy menus to germs floating around salad bars and buffets, we've got the biggest restaurant red flags to watch out for next.
Best
Was that? So we're live. Was that joke for Tori because she was missing?
No, I just thought it was funny in my mind. I didn't think it was actually that funny when I said it out loud, but it got a bit of a joke.
A joke?
Oh my gosh! I just got told that our control room actually laughed.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, but thanks.
Was that Arash?
Yeah.
He's just being sweet. Hey. Arash, did you really laugh?
He's saying he's being sincere. Okay.
Oh, they were in stitches. They said back there.
Right. So when we say the booth is where like all the directors sit, the line people, like all the producers, like the people running all the show. Like
we should.
They pick what camera angles, where we should look, where we should talk to, how long we've got. They track the time. They track all the words we say. So they're basically the glue that holds us all together. Let's be real. So for the fact that they said I did a good joke, it really makes me proud.
Nice. We should go back there, like behind the scenes. Actually, like during do you guys ever go back there for commercial break?
I mean, I can't reach with this cord.
Oh,
but that's a good idea.
It's always cool. Like,
it'd be interesting to see for someone at home.
Yeah,
it?
because I love that stuff.
You don't get to see the real glue that holds DBL together.
Yeah, I love that stuff, and even like growing up, I loved like when I got to see. Like just behind the camera, like when I could just like put the camera like towards the prompter, Even if I I see that stuff like on camera, I was like, oh man, I feel like I'm kind of behind the scenes. Is that what happens like on a set?
Yeah.
So I love that stuff, and I never like went to a school where they kind of encourage anything like that, which I think arts are very, I think they're very important. For me, I wasn't so much into books, but if there was like an arts class, I had a film study class in high school, and I think that's kind of what turned me on to the business. I'm like, wow, I think I can really do this, but I like when people get a behind the scenes tour or look of what's going on, because I think it's important.
No, I think so too. I think, it's just interesting, and it's just nice to see kind of what it's really like, because you never really know. And often, like, people will come into a studio and say, wow, it's way, like, smaller than I thought.
It always is. It's always way smaller than
really
what you thought. Where are you going? Are you bored?
Today's watch and win word is sand.
Ooh, sand. Welcome back to DBL. We all like going out to eat sometimes, right? Right. There we go. Some crowd participation on Thursday. Well, food experts say we should be aware of the not so obvious germs that lurk in restaurants. Not only is it gross, but it can also be a food safety concern. So let's talk about restaurant red flags. Here we go. You guys ready?
Okay.
Here we go. So if you see perishable foods sitting out at room temperature, microbes can potentially be growing in there. Salads, bars, and buffets are hot pots, and your hot food should be served hot.
If not.
But I know what they're saying, though.
If not, your meal could be in the danger zone where bacteria is flourishing. But it makes you wonder, how long has your food been sitting out?
Yeah, you do wonder, unless, of course, the kitchen is open and you see your food sitting there and your waiter talking to her homie down the other side, and your food is in the window ready to be picked up. Get on that.
Well, sometimes your waitress is having some drama at home and she needs to talk it out. And your patty melt does not overtake her situation with her boyfriend that happened this morning before she went to work.
Are we talking about a specific instance?
No. I'm not ordering patty melt, okay?
Well, then
they're
you're
delicious.
missing out on life.
Oh, let's not get on these patty melt things again. We had this whole tuna melt thing. We're not getting into it.
Okay.
They're delicious. Employees shouldn't be sick in any workplace, including this one. A coughing, sneezing bartender is also spreading germs and should go home and rest.
The alcohol and the booze kills the germs. It's a fact.
No, stop it.
Don't encourage that.
This is something that really annoys me about America. You guys don't get paid sick leave, and I think it's really crucial. I think at times people come back to work here when they're not up to it and they're not ready, but guess what? They've got bills to pay. In the UK, if you're sick, you're entitled to sick pay. It doesn't come out of your holiday days. Obviously, you can't take really big advantage of it, but like if you need a few days to be at home and rest, that should be just a human right.
Yeah, and I think, at least around here, I definitely know our bosses are cool with that. Like, even if I'm still feeling a little sick, I don't want to come back one day, because we're in tight quarters here. I don't want to come back and make you sick and then have it all go around this whole place.
But it still comes off your holiday days.
It does, yeah.
Which I don't think is okay.
I don't think it is either. Let's
call her HR Steph.
You watch me getting real big trouble now.
Well, check out the utensils. Make sure you check those out. If they're dirty, just imagine what the kitchen looks like.
Don't imagine.
Dirty utensils?
Yeah,
See, I don't even look, like if I'm at a fast food place and I'm at the front and I order, like if I'm at Burger King, I'll turn my back and I'm not looking. I don't want to see anybody making. I know whatever's happening back there is all bad. I just turn my back to it.
Al Jackson.
What?
You stop name dropping, talking about is bad.
Oh, sorry, Burger King. I mean, I like Burger King. Another hamburger restaurant. I don't go to anywhere. I don't
we'll edit that out.
I don't want to see people make my food. Is that weird?
A live show.
I like people watching people make my food when, like maybe I'm at a sushi restaurant or a teppanyaki or somewhere and they're doing like, ooh.
Wait, what was that second place?
Teppanyaki.
Wow, fancy.
What is that?
Okay.
Is that like hibachi?
It's kind of like, do you not have that here? And like they do like a show with like they set it on fire and it's like
teppanyaki.
Yeah.
That's our hibachi.
No, that's hibachi. Yeah.
Oh.
Where they make the like volcano with the onion rings.
Yeah.
What? No.
And he flips the shrimp in his cap.
And he bakes the egg.
They do eggs.
Take you to Benihana.
Yeah, what's up? You never saw an onion volcano?
No.
Oh, you haven't been living.
List. That is on the list.
All right, let's get this last one. There is more prominent, listen, casual type restaurants. Keep going. Keep going. You don't want the employees that hold the food and the money, right? Who wants that? Gross.
This happens a lot in sandwich places. No specific one, but it happens in sandwich places where they're prepping your food, but they're also the cashier. Make sure that they're taking their glove off before they make your food so that the money, germs don't transfer to the food. That's exactly what it's saying.
Oh, man.
If you're touching the money, then aren't you going to get sick?
Oh, dang.
All we got to do is,
wash your
if you're the cook and you collect the money,
wash
it's
your hands,
gross.
people. Don't be coming near me.
We got some promos to read. Coming up on DBL, whitening your teeth just got easier with this home whitening system. Show off those pearly whites at our DBL Deal Blast.
The sun used to make our outdoor...
DBL Nation, what's up? It's your boy Jeray for the Slay, and we're back with another Beauty Blast Edition video. Now this week, we're giving you a surprise little inside scoop of everything beauty that's happening for you guys. Now, this past week has been crazy. We've had so much going on, but I'm gonna give you my top 3 beauty insiders secrets that I found recently. So number 1, we had the amazing Katy Perry seen at Coachella. Now, she wasn't just seen rocking her everyday American Idol looks, honey. She had a gorgeous monochromatic all pink look going on. This started from the top with Chris Appleton, her hairstylist, styling her hair in a beautiful fuchsia pink moment. This is a beautiful body wave. Now the fuchsia pink tone though is just enough to give her some more of those cool and warm vibrancies all the way through her hair. This made for a great gradation when you see her on the red carpet, and she just looked amazing. Now down to the makeup, her makeup artist Michael Anthony used ColourPop Ooh La La eyeshadow palette, and this is seen in that gorgeous cat smoky eye that he created for her. This is a great way to shape out her eye without using eyeliner, and it made sure that you could really see those pink tones living off of her skin. It was an absolute gorgeous moment. Now another star that we've had our eye on lately is the gorgeous Queen Rihanna, y'all. Give it up for Queen Rihanna because she is just looking amazing. Now, we saw her on Harper's Bazaar's cover for their 2019 Beauty Edition, in which she is sporting a gorgeous rainbow avant-garde look. This look is just to die for. You just have to take a look at it just to see all these vibrant colors and how they're playing off of her skin as well. Now, Fenty Beauty posted this picture on their Instagram, and we got a clue that there is possibly a new item that was used in the shoot that will be featured. Now, Rihanna is famous for this, for dropping brand new products.
It's Deal Blast time! Yes! That's right, clap it up, clap it up. We've teamed up with MorningSave.com to bring you the lowest prices on the hottest products. Here to help us out is lifestyle expert, my girl, Miss Denise Plant.
I love coming here to Daily Blast Live. You guys are awesome. Do you know that?
We do.
Yes.
But you know, it takes awesome to know awesome, so here you go. That's right. I'm here all day. Setting up the patio for summer is a must, and if you want to add some fun to your outdoor setup, Denise has got you covered.
When this came to my house, I was so excited. I had to order it. The 2-pack Gabba Goods Bluetooth LED flame speakers. Backyard ambience all in one, lighting and music, and it's perfect for cookouts, outdoor parties, fire pits, maybe just relaxing at the end of the day. Water resistant, built-in rechargeable battery, and music plays up to 5 hours. The LED flame lights last up to 8 hours.
I gotta tell you, they're not only functional, they're also pretty dope. I mean, this is really
cute,
sleek,
right?
Very hot, but is the price too hot to handle?
No. Normally this will run you as much as $160, but now for a 2-pack, just $49, savings up to 69% off.
49 bucks.
Yes.
There's gonna be a party in the garden. So according to Harper's Bazaar, sleek hair is back on trend. But if you have thinner hair prone to damage, you'll love this next product to get your polished look.
Yes, let me introduce you to the Pro Cabello Luxury 5500 Soft Touch Brush Straightener. All in one. Available in pink, purple, black, and even white. It emits negative ions that have a triple action system: detangle, straighten, and increase natural hair shine. It reduces frizziness and increases hair manageability. It heats up to 450 Fahrenheit and has an auto switch off after 1 hour, so it's safe.
We'll have to give you a little pro tip from a curly girl, Denise. This also elongates your curls.
Does
so
it
yeah, it's for the curly
really?
girl too. Yeah, I'm getting one of these, but first I have to know how much it costs.
Normally as much as $150, but do I have a deal for you? For Deal Blast, $20 savings up to 87% off.
If it's $20, I'll take 2. How about that? You liked that pro tip, didn't you? Okay, well, a good smile in any situation can make all the difference. So it's important to keep those pearly whites actually white. Denise, help us out.
This is going to save you so much money. Forget going to the dentist for whiter teeth. The Pro Noir LED Teeth Whitening Kit. Meet Pro Noir's revolutionary LED Teeth Whitening Kit, specifically designed for you to whiten your teeth yourself at home with spectacular results. It's formulated to hydrate teeth and prevent discomfort during treatments. It includes 4 gel syringes, 2 mouth trays, mini LED lamp, and a user's guide.
I could use a TV Smile. How much is this TV Smile gonna cost me?
Normally as much as $200, but today, $29, half savings up to 86% off.
$29 for teeth whitening. I am so there because between coffee and red wine.
Oh my gosh.
You know the deal.
White wine can stain your teeth too, just saying.
Well, I'm definitely getting 2. Well, every great chef has a favorite knife, and if you want knives that last at a great price, we've got you covered.
The Cuisinart 6-piece classic German steel knife set with blade covers. Now this includes the 8-inch chef knife, the 8-inch slicing knife, the 8-inch bread knife, plus you get a 6-inch Sentoku knife and a 6-inch serrated utility knife, plus a 3.5-inch paring knife. Cuisinart's classic impression 6-piece knife set is comprised of efficiently sharp and durable essential kitchen cutlery for tackling everyday food preparation tasks.
They are very nice, and you get a whole set. Let's chop up the price real quick. How much is this going to cost us?
Normally it's going to run you as high as $126, but today you get the 6-piece set for $35, savings up to 72% off.
$35?
Yes.
Have fun shopping. Now head over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing products at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. Thank you so much, Miss Denise.
Of course.
It's always a pleasure. Let's chop it up. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
We just found a video of Rob, our cameraman, our Steadicam man, who's off at the moment because he really hurt his leg, and he's now a rapper. Apparently
he's been off for 3 months,
He's been off,
now
and
he's
now he's a
rapping on
rapper.
Instagram. Rob, are you watching us? What's going on, buddy? You bored? You just rapnology. It's good though. I like it. I just liked it.
No, he did good.
He's good.
He's good.
He's a poet, but and I know he wants to get back to work.
He's a poet, and he didn't even know it.
Apparently he does now, and the world does. His jams are out there. All right, what else do you want to talk about? That last segment was a good one, huh?
Hey, Chef, what was your first restaurant you worked at? I worked at a restaurant called the Thai Bistro. It's like a 4-star Thai restaurant. The food was delicious.
I think
it was in the wrong neighborhood.
This place, Moretti's, was my first restaurant. I think it was Moretti's. It's Italian. You ever go to Moretti's?
I was wondering if
There's one in Park Ridge, but I think there's one downtown now.
The name, or if I just knew him already, which I probably both in Chicago.
Yeah, there's one downtown, I think.
Did you ever work in a restaurant, Erica?
Yeah.
What was your restaurant?
Of course. My first restaurant was Chevy's Fresh Mex.
I remember
which
Chevy's.
I loved Chevy's. Chevy's
Chevy's
was...
left?
Yeah, okay. I've seen... Where's their Chevy's? I know there was one in Sacramento. I used to go there when I lived there. But y'all know about Chevy's. That was the best. So I was a hostess there. I was 16. That was my first job. And they built one across the street from my parents' house. And that's like when they first started commercializing like those suburban neighborhoods. Yeah. So just the idea that you could walk somewhere and like be at a restaurant was like the biggest deal. And I loved that. I got tipped so many times.
Really?
I was the best
as a hostess.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that's
The
good to
best.
get tipped as a hostess.
That's hard.
I love
At a
being a
Chevy's, too.
hostess.
Yeah.
I would make sure those menus were so clean. That's the reason why I don't have a lot of empathy for places that don't have clean menus. It's the host station.
Erica?
Well, see, I would as a
that second restaurant. What we call the.
Where was the second
H
restaurant? Was Hooters my second restaurant? Hooters might have. Yeah, Hooters was my second restaurant.
What were the tips bigger?
The tips were bigger.
I said tips.
So I got hired at Hooters. I wanted to be a waitress, but I was too young. You had to be 21, so they made me a hostess until I was able to be a waitress. And then I ended up doing the calendar, so I had to stay there for like 6 months. This is the most bizarre
you could do
thing.
the calendar but not be a waitress?
Yes, they let me do the calendar.
That's weird.
Yeah, that
Well,
doesn't count.
they let me do it because my birthday was in February. So you have to be 21 by the time
Plus, they
that
can
there's
knock
like
out Black History Month. They just high-fived each other. 2 birds.
Yeah.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments, right, Steph?
Yes, Jeff.
What are
This
they
is the
about?
first time I get to do this.
Awesome.
All right, okay. I nearly bloody deleted it then, didn't I?
That would've been hilarious.
Larry says, DBL is by far the best part of my afternoon. I laugh all the time with you guys. Thanks, you, Larry. And Veronica, this is a nice one. Hey, Al, I watch DBL online. You're always picking your teeth during the commercial break. What's up
I didn't know people could see that. I've been eating salad and I don't want to have green stuff in my teeth. I'm trying to get my greens in.
He
does it all.
It's super appetizing.
He
too,
does
to
do it
sit
all
here
the
at this
time.
table.
Erica, you're eating a salad too?
I'm not picking my teeth at the table.
This isn't Big Mama's table. This is our table. I thought we had an open forum
Steph,
here.
No,
I
is
thought
that
that was
frowned upon in England to pick your teeth at the table?
Yeah, you wouldn't really do that in public. That's more of a bathroom kind of situation.
I'm not going to the bathroom to pick my teeth.
Al, you're busted. Veronica got you, buddy.
Oh, I didn't know she could see
Veronica
us.
sees all. See you guys tomorrow,
See
same
ya.
time, same place.